Welcome, everybody. Just like to welcome you to today's show, brought to you by True Temperance International, otherwise known as TTI, which is a family health show. We just good to have you with us today. I'm sure you're going to enjoy what's going to be laid out to you guys. Today, what we'll be covering is part two of part one, that's all about cancer, which we covered last week, which was brought to us by the Kwaqemane Lifestyle Center in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. My name is Brent. I'll be your host today, and my co-host is going to be hosted by Natalia. I'm based in the United Kingdom, in the Leicestershire area, and Natalia is just about 2 hours north of me, in the Nottinghamshire area. So Natalia, thank you for joining me on today's show. Really good to have you.
Hi everyone, looking forward to today.
Good. So as mentioned, last week we had the Lifestyle Center. I'm not going to say that word too much because I think I've tried to pronounce it already. But the Lifestyle Center in South Africa, last week, Jason Williams and Dr. Louisa Magapi led out with the show last week. So they'll be coming on a bit later to run through part two with us again, that covered cancer and all the aspects around that. So please stay tuned, and I'm sure you'll be receiving lots of valuable information a bit later when we get to them presenting. Before we go any further, I would just like to go through the disclaimer with you guys. So I'm just going to bring that up quickly. If I can get, Natalia, if I can get you just to go through that with the audience, please.
Yeah, guys, so our disclaimer is only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe. One moment, guys. And prescribe for any illness or disease. Any information disclosed or discussed at TTI Zoom Talk today, or any other shows in general, are for educational and informational purposes only. Please continue to seek professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease you may be suffering from. Thanks, guys.
Great, thank you, Natalia. Appreciate that. Just stop that sharing. We stop that sharing now?
It's still there. Oh yeah, it's gone now.
Good. Yeah. So
lovely.
Brilliant. So yeah, guys. So as we say, last week, the Kwaqemane Lifestyle Center covered part one of cancer, and there were four aspects to that presentation for those of you that were on there, which was what is cancer, the causes of cancer were covered, cancer and the immune system, and then lastly, what was covered was the topic of breast cancer. And you know, I'm sure we can all relate to someone that we know that's had cancer, maybe a family member or a friend. And you know, at the moment, we don't hear the word cancer. We you know, due to the current climate we're in. But cancer is a really big killer. It obviously takes a lot of people every year around the continent, and yeah, we're just really looking forward to finding out about part two and how we can prevent the dreaded C word from visiting us. You know,
Brent, it's funny you should say that, you know, because you know, when I was younger, like hearing about like cancer and stuff like that, I used to just really hate it, and I used to always wish that like one day there could be some kind of cure, and that so many people wouldn't have to die from cancer. So learning about cancer, learning about like prevention being better than cure, like things that you can eat, lifestyle practices that you can do, all these things have just opened up my eyes to realize, you know what, like, I guess how we treat our bodies has a big impact as well. So I'm really, really looking forward to today, and I really enjoyed last week, and I'm just, you know, excited for what we're going to learn today.
Yeah, no, brilliant. I agree. And, you know, the thing is that they say prevention is better than cure. And you know, I think a lot of the time, the actual symptoms are treated when it comes to cancer, but what's overlooked is actually the cause. And I know that last time on part one, Jason covered the sorry, someone muted me there. If you had to go back to last week, there was a very illustrative graph that was covered, which is all the different aspects of what causes cancer and what we need to avoid with regards to developing cancer. So, you know, guys, if you haven't watched last week, if you go back to last week, I think it was around about 43 minutes into that presentation. There's a wonderful graph over there that you can go to, and it shows you all these different aspects that are related to cancer. If you're wanting to go back and watch that, what you can do is you can go online to our YouTube channel. So you just type in True Temperance International on YouTube. While you're there, please like the page. You know, please subscribe, click on the bell icon that you stay up with notifications and what have you for my latest releases. But yes, if you want to go back to last week, then you can get that on YouTube. Then what we'd also like to announce is that we've now gone live with our website, and the website's done really well, done by one of our team members back in South Africa, aka Q, and he's done a really good job. So what we can do is we'll bring that up for you at the end, and we can maybe put that in the chat for you, that you guys can go to our website, because on the website we've got all our past challenges that you can go and review. You can share those with family members or friends. We've got a recipe on there. We've got one recipe on there, but it looks divine. It's the vegan blueberry cheesecake that I can't wait to try. So go and have a look at that. And then I'm sure we'll be adding recipes as we go along, nice, healthy recipes. On there, you can also book a consultation. And we have centers in South Africa, here in the UK. So if necessary and you are looking for treatment, then we can point you in the right direction, So, and then also if you want to chat, there's a chat box on there. You can message us and we can chat you via the website. Natalia, there's also the WhatsApp group and other platforms. I think, can you share to the audience?
Yes, guys. We've got a men's group on WhatsApp where we discuss about health, everything health. There's a women's WhatsApp group as well. If you'd like to join, or if anyone who you know would like to join, we will put that in the chat box. And we also have a spiritual group as well for those who are interested in spiritual things. And understanding health and the spiritual side both combined together. So that's another group that you guys can join if you like. But yeah, we also do a few things in the week as well, if anyone's interested. On Tuesdays around 8 o'clock, we do a study hour where we will learn together, come together, encourage each other, and just learn new things about health and the Bible. And we also do something on a Thursday night on Zoom, which you can get involved with. It's with our colleague Shirlene and our colleague Alvin. They do an essential oil class on Thursday nights, which is really, really good, because I don't know about you guys, but I love a good essential oil, like especially when you've had a stressed out day, it's just so nice, just, Just go and smell some nice essential oils, put something on in the background. So yeah, you can find out much more information on that.
Yeah.
We can discuss that in the chats as well if you're interested. And then yeah, Saturday we stick to this same show, the family health show, which will be next Saturday as well. So you can stay in touch with us in the groups and WhatsApp. We've got these things going on in the week, and also on our website. Go and check it out. Go and meet the rest of us in the TTI ministry. Check us out. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, I think that's it, Brent, what I needed to share.
Brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, so we had a challenge last week, didn't we? The vitamin D3 challenge. Now, we'd love to hear back from the audience or whoever took part in that challenge. Obviously know that in South Africa, supplements aren't going to be a big thing because you've got the sunlight there and what have you. In South Africa, you're fortunate even all the way through the year, you've got enough sun. But yeah, in the UK, we're not as fortunate. So just passing it to the audience. Has anyone got any testimonies or any feedback after last week's challenge? Well,
anybody?
Well, it is a bit short because supplements or anything natural takes generally a month if it's a natural product to work. And I can testify to that because when I grew up in South Africa and I came to UK about 5 years ago, and I didn't know that you had to take vitamin D3 supplements because I grew up in the sun, obviously, in South Africa. And I think it was about 1.5 years into my stay here in the UK, I used to get sick at least every month. And it was sort of a light flu symptom where I had no energy, I was drained, I just felt terrible. I just felt groggy. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And this happened for about 1 year. And I don't like running to the doctors because I like to go with alternative remedies. But I went to the doctor and I just thought I've got to find out that. Took a blood test, and it came back that I had a vitamin D3 deficiency. So yeah, I was prescribed a vitamin D3 supplement, which I didn't take. I went to a health website rather than getting something from a pharmacist. I went to a health website, started the supplement, and within about 2 months, I just saw a big difference. So, I can testify that the vitamin D3 is something that you definitely need, and it works. It works. And what you can add to that is also a vitamin K2 for absorption. And if you want that to penetrate deeper into the cells, then that's something you can add to the vitamin D3. You can add the K2 to that. So last shout out there. Anyone want to just comment on vitamin D3? Not? Okay. We'll let that then. Natalia, anything else that you want to cover before?
The vitamin D3, me and my husband was trying to find some. So we went on YouTube, started looking up vitamin D. Okay. And they mentioned about one with vitamin D3 and the K2. So yes. It's funny that Jason mentioned that because we literally just found that out just a couple of weeks ago as well. And we've been adding it. It's just 5 drops a day.
Oh, the liquid one, liquid form.
Yeah, the liquid one. Yeah. Okay. So we've just started taking that. I haven't noticed anything yet, but like you say in England, there's not much sun here. So
yeah, I mean, it just started. Because I only got sick 1.5 years afterwards. It took a while because for your body, obviously, it's essential. But the effects take a while, but it's best just to start it, and just keep that vitamin D3 coming because it obviously complements our bodies all the way around, So yeah, that's good. And then I would just go online and find a decent source and purchase one of those.
Yeah, Edgar, was you saying something?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question. Good afternoon to you both. Good listening. Could you just explain about K2? Because I'm just thinking of for somebody who's got no idea what it is. And also, how much vitamin D should you take? If you have an idea.
Yeah,
Either of you.
it depends on the strength of the supplement that you're taking. If vitamin D comes in 10,000 UR or 20,000 UR, so there's different strengths, and whatever you're purchasing, it'll give you an indication of taking, say, 2 or 3 capsules a day as your daily intake. But it's recommended for the vitamin D3 to give its maximum effectiveness to the body is to add the vitamin K2, which is another supplement that sits alongside the vitamin D3, and it just helps with the absorption of the vitamin D3 through the body into the cells to actually function better and to assist you with the vitamin D3 intake.
Great, thanks for that.
Anybody else got anything to share with us before we start the program? Even if it isn't last week's challenge, we've done loads of other challenges. If anyone's got anything to share, anything that's helped them, what they've been learning over these weeks.
Yeah, the one I mentioned earlier was going to bed at 10 o'clock. I've been busy lifestyle. I've always seemed to finish washing the dishes by 10 o'clock, and then it's sort of winding down, and normally get to bed at like 11, and that challenge has really helped me to actually get down by 10 o'clock. And I find I wake up a little bit earlier, but I'm a lot more revitalized. I've got more energy. I felt like I've slept better, because they say that the best time to be sleeping is between 9:10 to 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when your body goes through its repair process and where you're getting your deepest sleep. So yeah, I really found benefit from the going to bed a bit earlier in that challenge. It was a good one for me. Edgar?
Can I just say something? I know that some people are saying that they want to say something and they're not able to unmute. So if you put, this is really for Shirley, because you just check that people can unmute. Obviously, if I'm a co-host, it might make it easier. That's it.
Can you get that then, Shirley?
You should be able to unmute now.
Okay, because I'm not seeing any hands on my side.
Better. That's better.
Oh, we've got one.
Yep. Okay, can I say something?
By all means, Audrey.
Yeah, that's Audrey. Yes. Interestingly, with the vitamin D3 situation, I also quite a few years ago, probably close to 6, 7, 8 years ago,
Okay.
I suffered severe pains in the legs, in the arms, all over the body. I could hardly walk. I was tired, etc. And I went in to see my GP and got tested. And because of an experience in the past, I requested a vitamin D test, but I was told then, oh, it's expensive, da, da, da. But I insisted. In the end, they added it. And when the results came back, there was no vitamin D detected at all in my body.
Wow.
And that was, wow. I tell you, it felt everything. And I got treated obviously originally with a very high dose for 12 weeks until I got to normal, and then a maintenance dose.
Okay.
But then, since then, I decided with the talks in the church, etc., I take 5,000 international units regularly. I try my best to get it over the counter. And with the, I went into research to find out more about it. Wow. And it was very interesting. The older you are, your skin is, doesn't absorb enough. As when you're younger. Also a darker skin, demands more, needs more.
Yeah, I believe that.
So yes. Because of that now, I make sure that I have my vitamin D indoors. The only thing that I wasn't aware of was the K2 thing. So really, thank you all for last week.
And did that clear it up, Audrey? Did you feel a lot better then when you went onto that?
Absolutely. The pains disappeared. They went. Brilliant. Absolutely. I started functioning and my job was demanding, and thankfully I'm retired now.
Yes.
But hey, taking the supplements helped so much.
Something as simple as that, eh? Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yes. So thank you for last week. So I thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for your testimony, Audrey. Thank you.
Brent, we've got someone that said something in the chat as well.
Yes.
She says, it's Jean Patton. I'm feeling so much more happier. Alert. My BP going down since going to bed before 10 p.m.
Brilliant.
That's amazing, Jean, that you can get to bed before 10 and that it's having really positive effects on you.
It shows you, eh? Yeah. Brilliant.
I'm still working on that one. Getting to bed before 10.
Yeah, it's discipline, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Discipline.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Fran.
Okay. I just heard, is it Audrey?
Yes.
Talking about vitamin D3. Now, I'm on vitamin D3, but it seems to be a very low dosage. It's 800 IU.
Yes, that is low,
Fran. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this is because over the last 3 months, I've been having pains all over my body.
Okay.
Pains in my upper arm, it started with, and then it graduated down into my, from my thigh downwards, then into my side of my calf. Sometimes it can go on the left side too, and in my fingers.
Which country are you? I can ask, Fran. Which country?
Sorry?
Which country are you in?
England.
England, yeah. Good.
Yes, UK. And I haven't had that experience before the last 3 months. And I'm thinking, what on earth's going on? I went to the doctors and they put me onto the physiotherapist, as they usually do. And she's saying to me, well, we're going to do this test and this test. I said, listen, it's not about movement. Let me put my thing on. I said, it's not about movement. I mean, I'm a 67-year-old, right? And I don't believe that you have to be affected because of your age. Age has got nothing to do with your health, I don't think, anyway, if you look after yourself. So anyway, they said, well, we're going to do this test. I said, listen, it's not about movement. The pain is there regardless of movement. And it's deep, penetrating, agonizing, bring you to tears. So I really don't know what's going on. But when I heard Audrey talk about pain in her entire body and vitamin D3, I'm wondering, probably I should try a higher dose.
You need to up it.
Probably. Are there better qualities?
Yeah, where were you getting your?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah. Sorry, Fran. You need to up the dosage to minimum 10,000 a day.
Okay. I will.
And just make sure you're getting it from a website. Maybe that's if you're getting it online, that it's from a healthy source website. You know.
Well, at the moment, it's just over the counter. It's what my doctor's given me. I haven't, but I have looked into Amazon and see if I can get better quality.
You can go to Dolphin Fitness. Fitness. And the Now product range is very well priced. NOW Now product range.
NOW Now product range.
Yeah, and you just go for the 10,000 UI over there, and it's a soft gel tablet, soft gel capsule. So it's nice.
Okay. I mean, I've been praying about this, and I think Jennifer Distin's the one who gave me the information to come on this site. And it's strange I should come on actually, because I have no intention but then she sent it. I heard my phone click and I happened to come on. But it's not by coincidence, because I've been praying about it for God to show me what the problem is. So anyway, I'll try that, and thank you very much.
Yes, do that. Pleasure. I saw we had one more hand. We got Joyce, and then I think
Joyce,
we'll move on after that.
Hello,
Yeah?
hello everybody.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
I just want to share a bit of testimony to glorify God and also to encourage somebody. I'm not sure if Lucille is on the line, but she's from Manor House. If anybody in UK knows about Manor House,
Yeah.
I will recommend it. Last week, I came on and I gave a hypothetical situation, but it was because I had an appointment coming up. So I didn't make it sound like it was me, but it was me. So now I'm coming out to share the testimony, because when God does something, as Christians, we must share the testimony.
Yes.
Anyway, so last year, October, I was diagnosed with cancer in my upper arm, like in the lymph nodes. And they did various tests, literally from my brain to my feet, like running all the tests you can think of. MRI, CT scan, bone scan, this scan, ultrasound, everything. But God be the glory. They only found it in my upper arm there. There was nowhere else. So that was good.
Okay.
Anyway, they offered me surgery and chemotherapy, and I refused the chemotherapy. I refused it so much that the doctors were frustrated. A team of doctors did everything within their power to try and convince me, but I kept hearing this voice within me telling me, if you take that chemotherapy, you're going to die. Don't take it.
Wow.
And I knew it was the Holy Spirit talking to me. So my sister is on the line, so she's the witness, because she came to me with some of the appointments.
Yes.
And I was so defiant, to the extent that I said to them, can you discharge me of this clinic, because I don't belong here. I'm not, just do the surgery and that's it. I would think about the chemotherapy, but I knew within me I wasn't going to take it. So this was back and forth from that October to January. I had the surgery, and then a colleague of mine who knows about Manor House, she's an Adventist, and she recommended Manor House to me. And I went to see Lucille, and I spoke to her. She ran a few tests. She put me on a lifestyle protocol, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. So what to eat, what to drink, exercise, water is important, what you put in your body, sleep, don't do stress, everything. It was like from moving from
for that. Sorry. Did you go and see them for that? Did you go and have a consultation at the centre, or did they just speak to you over the phone?
No, I went there. I traveled from London to Staffordshire. It took me 4 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
So I decided to go, like literally switch into, it's like you're eating chocolate and all of a sudden you decide, I'm not eating chocolate again. I didn't even think about it. I went straight into it, everything that she said. And I did it quite, I would say I did it like 95%. I mean, I went straight into it. My colleague was so shocked, like, how did you manage? Because sometimes people have to work their way up to that. But no, I said, something within me tells me God is going to make a way. And then we were having a Bible study, and then Revelations 22 came up and said, the leaves of the trees for the healing of the nations. And I remember Lucille telling me to do juicing and make sure there's always 4 types of leaves, different leaves in there. And I thought, okay, that's another revelation. Anyway, so I went, tried to do everything that she put on the protocol. And it's been from January. The doctors gave me 6 months. They said within 6 months, I'll come back begging for treatment. This is November. I have been healthy. I have been strong. I have not been to the hospital the whole year with even headache or anything. I've been well. So anyway, February, they passed the case on to a professor to try and convince me. And I refused. They were doing everything. And I still said, don't, you're actually bothering me. Don't call me again. So when we went into the lockdown, just before we went into the lockdown, they called me to find out if I've changed my mind. And I said, nope, it's the same. And then she turned around and said, Joyce, can I tell you something? I said, go ahead. This is the doctor. She said, you've taken the best decision. I said, what do you mean? You've been convincing me all these months, and all of a sudden you turn around to say I've taken the best decision not to take the therapy. What do you mean? She said, that's all I can tell you. So I said, okay, I know the God I'm serving anyway. So back and forth, I've been doing it. And then on Monday gone, I went to have my test done. And I say this to the glory of God, I'm cancer free. I don't have any cancer in my body. I had mammogram, I had ultrasound on Monday, and everything came back clear. That they said, go.
From diet.
Yep, just from diet and believing God. I was holding on to the word of God that says that he healed us by his stripes. I was holding on. He said last week they quoted a very powerful quotation during the presentation, Jeremiah 30 verse 17, which talks about, I will restore health to you and I will heal all your wounds. And I held on to the word of God. I must say I've got a very good network of support. When you're going through this, it's important who you talk to. All my friends are Christians, so we always pray every week. We're praying about it. We believe in God, and then I'm also trying to eat healthy and like being conscious of what I eat. My sister is the one, she's the one writing on the screen now. So I didn't take the juicing lightly at all. I was juicing. I still do it 6 days out of 7 in a week. I juice. So I do my greens 3 times a week and my beetroot and carrot twice a week, and then 1 day carrot. I mean, it's been marvelous. I've been so used to my juicing. I'm not even going to stop. It's going to be my life. And then the vitamins, all the vitamins you guys have been talking about, it's on my lifestyle protocol. I've been taking it from January, the vitamin D, all the natural vitamins, I've been taking it. And when I went in last Monday, they were shocked to see me looking so good. Like I've never felt this healthy. So I'm thanking God, and I'm thanking Lucille and all her advice. I shared a testimony with her and she was so overjoyed. So this is just to encourage somebody that when you hear the word cancer, it's not a life death sentence on your life. It's a change. You have to just change your lifestyle and believe God. And that's what I've done. And I'm very happy I did not take the chemotherapy. Wow. They said, see you next year, November, for your usual yearly scan. And I was very pleased. So that's just to encourage somebody.
Well, Joyce, that's amazing testimony. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It was wonderful. We'd like to go on now. See, we've got Simi on with with their hand up.
Oh yeah, sorry, I just wanted to give a quick testimony from last week, because I think the challenge was to basically to take vitamin D3, but then I had a conversation last week about the dosage that I was currently taking. I think I stated last week it was 3,000 IU, but I actually double checked that the tablet packing is actually 5,000 IU. Yes. So I think Jason mentions to take, to up the dosage. So another lady testified that she was taking 20,000. So I thought, but then it was like once every 2 weeks. So I thought, oh no. And normally I take my tablets on a daily basis. So I thought, oh no, that might not be so easy to manage. So I then said, all right, then I'm going to up the dosage. So then because I literally just said, all right, then I'll take 2 tablets. So 2 tablets will now make it 10,000 IU. And prior to that, everything was being okay. I was just taking it just to the fact of we're supposed to be taking vitamin D3, and I work inside, like I'm an office worker, so I'm not really exposed to sun so much, and normally because I'm kind of working, typing all day, and now I'm working from home, I'm literally like just kind of moving my hands in and out just to kind of exercise them. And my ankle, I normally twist that around. This was even prior to all this, and it was always clicking. But ironically, now I've actually upped the dosage now to 10,000. I'm literally like clicking move my ankles around. I'm just not hearing no clicking anymore, and I'm actually moving my hands in and out, and I'm not hearing no clicking anymore. So it seems like now I've upped the dosage, it's basically like worked wonders on the bone. So just want to say thank you for that. So I'm just going to stick to the 10,000 now a day. Thanks.
Well, thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing, Sammy. Okay, guys, we're going to need to move on now and hand over to the presenters. So thanks for sharing all those testimonies with us. Yes, so without further ado, we'd like to hand over to Jason Williams and Louisa Magapi from the Kwaqemane Life Centre in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa. Over to you, Jason.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
I trust that everyone is doing well. Are we audible? Can you hear us?
Yes, loud and clear, Jason.
We're audible, yeah?
Yeah, you guys are coming through fine this side, yeah?
All right. Good afternoon, Brother Brent. Thank you for bringing us on. And Sister Natalia. I always mix up her name with someone else. Thank you for hosting and for bringing us on. Also, you know, greeting to everybody, Brother Dingani, all the way up there in Zambia. How you doing? Brother Q, Sister Stephanie, how are you? Sister Stephanie, it's so good to see her. I haven't seen her for a while.
More than 5 years.
Yeah, we used to work together in Grenada in the mission field. Wonderful, wonderful experience and a wonderful person. Great seeing you, sis. Brother Louisa and Sister Bernard. Brother Bernard and Sister Louise. How you doing? Good afternoon. I did that on purpose, Sister Louise. I did it on purpose. I just wanted to see you. All right, great stuff. I trust everybody had a wonderful week. You know, last week we shared a bit about cancer, and it's something that we do here in our clinic. We don't ever take the stance that we cure no one. We don't believe that we can. We believe that the body was created with mechanism of healing, and once they are activated, healing will take place. That is to do with God himself. We cannot take that glory, nor do we claim that way. But what we do here, we help the body to get back to its operating, optimum operation. Today with me, I've got, once again, Dr. Louisa. She works here with me in the Lifestyle Center. We've been working together for a while.
3 years to be exact.
3 years to be exact. We've been serving the community at local and at large in the services that we provide. What do we do though?
Well, we do a comprehensive treatment, comprehensive in regards to being physical, mental, including emotional and social and spiritual, but also comprehensive in terms of we gather knowledge from the different systems. We're not just alternative based. We do use diagnostics from the biomedical world, as I'm a trained medical doctor. So we're able to monitor the people, and therefore we work primarily on keeping the physical body healthy so we can get the mental state right. Ultimately, we believe, in also looking at the spiritual. So the foundation of our treatment, a lot of people call us and ask for herbs. We do use herbs, but primarily our foundation is the laws that govern the body, which are the 8 laws of health. Well, I say 11 laws of health, but anyway, nevertheless. And dietetics, how food interacts with the human body is very important, because 95% of the diseases that we see in the world is caused by the food that we eat. And it was very powerful listening to those testimonies. It's very sad that in South Africa, we've got sunlight for days. It's been so hot. Even today, it's 38 degrees. Tomorrow is 39 degrees. But yet, I will say, Jay, around about 90% of the patients that we get in South Africa are vitamin D deficient, which is quite sad, because you can generate 10,000 to 25,000 units of vitamin D in just one sitting in the sun, and therefore it shows just how much we're not using nature. We said last week that people should go buy the supplements. But if you're in South Africa, or in any part of Africa for that matter, spend time in the sun. If you don't have the money, God is good, right? The sun is free. You will not get a bill for that. and you will not get toxicity from getting vitamin D from the sun, which you can. So for all of you taking the vitamin D supplement, make sure that you have your levels checked, and make sure that they come to optimum levels so that you don't end up with toxicity. Vitamin A, D, E, and K, they're fat soluble, so they get stored in the body, so they can become toxic if you use them too much. But that is essentially what we do. We don't just treat cancer, even though it seems that that is all we're doing, because it seems cancer is just booming everywhere. But we holistically treat all disease. We would rather be focusing on prevention, because prevention is better than cure. It is cheaper. It is less painful for you yourself. Trust me, even though it's hard to give up a cheeseburger. Can you imagine now when you have cancer and you have to give that up and be taking the bitter herbs and be doing a lot of things and dealing with the pain? So we encourage prevention of disease as opposed to waiting until the systems are broken up. So last week we spoke about cancer. One of the things about vitamin D, for a long time, it wasn't really on the throne when it comes to cancer issues, because it was that the sun causes cancer. So a lot of people avoided the sun, but vitamin D is a powerful inhibitor of cancer. And I think I mentioned even in the groups that it affects the P53, which is a protein that regulates the multiplication of cancer cells. Cancer cells, they shut down that regulator so that they can continue to multiply. So vitamin D is powerful in inhibiting cancer. So to all of you who took the challenge and did that, you have done yourself a great favor in many, many ways, not just for cancer, but for your bone health as well.
Yeah, and another thing, I know that it's early for folks to see the benefits, but remember, it's not the same day you plant a seed that you get forth the fruit. And so give it time, give it season, and all will be well. Just make sure you do it under good supervision and understanding what you are doing. So.
Well, before you go with the I just really want to appreciate Joshua Ondusa. I'm sorry if I know I didn't tell you that I was going to do that, but he took the challenge from a couple of weeks ago to go get his blood tests done, and he sent them through to be interpreted. So now he has a clearer picture of exactly what is wrong or right with him and what it is he needs to do. So we still highly recommend that for you. I'm sorry to hear that vitamin D testing is expensive in other countries. In South Africa, you can use Lancet. It's not expensive. I'll check for you how much to check for your vitamin D levels. But remember, you can do that. You can go and get your blood levels tested, and you can just send your results through to me to just do an interpretation. I do say, please, kindly, I have a turnaround time of about 72 hours. Be patient, because as you can imagine, if all of you were to send your results, that would be 198 people whose results I would have to interpret. So just give me time. Once I've opened it, I will respond to you. So Joshua, you have done very well for yourself and for your health, and keep it up and take the lessons. And I hope everybody will take up that challenge too.
Thank you.
So you mentioned that they can do it. You can recommend it if you're in South Africa.
Yeah, if you're in South Africa, I will let you know how much it is for vitamin D. At Lancet, we work with them. You can, if you don't have a doctor who will do it for you, you can just send us a WhatsApp, and I will give you my code. I will get your results, and I'll be able to let you know what your vitamin D levels are like. I will check that right now as you continue.
Okay. All right. Great. So last week we had a wonderful lesson. We had so much feedback from the last time. The last presentation we did, we had feedback throughout the week, just overwhelming feedback. And so this week we want to continue. We want to continue going through. I'm gonna need to share my screen. If screen share, it's this one. Yeah. And this one. And this one. Right. Okay. Now, if you remember last week when we presented, we, as Brent, thank you very much for slightly revising what we went over. We will also do that. The sister that was there doing that wonderful testimony, she made reference to this this scripture here. Now, whilst we appreciate that not everybody, this is an international platform and not everybody share the same faith, nonetheless, I understand what she was saying. And this was the scripture that she was making reference to. And you know what I understand and what I realize as I do this work more and more is it's becoming hard to take faith out of it. Somebody's camera is making a lot of noise, or their microphone rather. Yeah, it becomes hard to take faith out of it. You know, one might say, well, I don't have faith. I don't have faith. But if you think about it, folks, we all have faith. We're simple, we all go to work believing that you're going to get paid. But before that, you get up, going to work, believing that you'll get there. And whatever action you take, you do it because you believe. You go in your car, or you believe it's going to start. You start driving when you believe you're going to get there. Now, of course, you all know that the car doesn't have to start, and you don't have to get to work. But because we are built like that as human beings, we do things believing. So for one to say, I don't believe, but yet you're doing it, you must think about what you're saying, because otherwise you won't do it. You know, it's because you believe. You know, there's things that we try, like say, oh, let me see if this works. We have that, but most of us believe. And so for the sister, what she was saying is that she believed that God was able to help her. And you know, that's how she want to demonstrate her trust and her belief. And
sorry, I get excited about the issue of faith and physiology. Studies have shown that Christians, people who believe in a God of love, when they worship him, they actually release the chemical oxytocin. Now, if you watch the presentation we did on Wired for Good, oxytocin not only makes you feel bonded to people and makes you feel love, but it also has healing properties on the body. Because then when you are alone in the world, what you're going to release is cortisol. Or when the God you worship is a God of wrath, of no mercy, of you did this to yourself, there's nothing good for you, you're going to release cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which suppresses the immune system and changes your cells and can ultimately lead to cancer. So it's important, as we always say, we have power over what we believe. That's why we all believe. We have power over what we believe. But once we believe it, it has power over us in terms of the chemicals it produces. But anyway,
you know, and so no, I wanted to kick off with this because as we share the information, you know, and folks, you know, people will try, people will do, but I want to just share that we do things because we believe and we have expectations. And as we present, we also believe the Lord is able to help us to present, so you can hear. All right. So the following presentation, okay, that we're going to be doing, the following presentation present principles designed to promote good health and is not intended to take the place of personalized professional health care or your doctor or your healthcare provider. This information we're sharing, we're not sharing it to take you away from your doctor nor your personal healthcare provider, okay? The opinions and ideas expressed are that of the presenter or presenters, myself, Dr. Louisa. Listeners, which are you are encouraged to draw your own conclusion, okay, about the opinions and ideas expressed from us. All right, so we're not taking you away from, we're not telling you to throw away what your doctor has told you to do. We're not saying none of that. Okay, the opinion and idea shared is what we have believed, we have been doing, and we have seen results. Okay, but it's not to tell you to stop doing what you are doing. Okay, if you have any questions, do speak to your healthcare provider and hear their opinion. If you want further clarity, then you are free to do so. Okay, right. So Doc, part two. Part two. By the way, guys, listen, this is part two and it's not the last part, but we do 2-part series and then we're going to break. Next week, you will hear other presentation and then listen up again because we're going to come back with another part 3 and part 4. So take your books, take your notebooks, take your notes. This program is going to be broadcast on, is it YouTube or Facebook? YouTube. So the recording will be there. You can go over it slide by slide and make notes and, you know, reflect if you so choose. But this is part 2 of this series. We'll be doing part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, part 7. Okay, we do 7-part series. We will do part 7 in next year by God's grace. By God's grace. All right. So the truth about cancer, reflecting really quick. Last week we said where we use the word truth, it suggests that there is not so truth, or there's more to the truth that was before. And what we are doing, we're adding to what is already out there and creating a clearer picture of what is cancer, how to deal with it, and all of that. That's what the design of this presentation is.
And the one sister who gave a testimony uttered an absolute truth. Cancer does not have to be a death sentence. Now, that's one of the first things you have to believe. If you believe that cancer is going to kill you, then as you believe, it shall unfold. But she believed that it was not going to kill her. And therefore, in everything that she practiced, she looked for something else. And she believed that chemotherapy was not the way for her to go. And by her actions, we saw her belief. I'm really, really, really touched by your faith. It's just a powerful thing that you have done. So anyway, that is the truth about cancer. It does not have to be a death sentence. Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
How many times have you heard somebody, they're seemingly fine. No, they're doing a yearly checkup or routine. And when they go to the doctor, yeah, well, they weren't feeling 100, but that's not why they went. It was just because of work-related insurance, whatever. They go and they get checked, and voila, surprise. We found something. We need to do further investigation. At that point, now I've never been there, but I've had clients that have been there, and their whole life changed. First, anxiety kicked in, and when confirmation comes, it's like everything changed. You remember now. This is something. It is studied. It is studied, and it's not what I'm presenting today. But as you rightfully said, all of us have power over what we believe. But when you believe something, it actually have power over you. The truth about cancer is it doesn't have to kill you. All right. Now, that's a one-sided story, because most of us, when we hear cancer, we think death. We think we're going to die. Here's the truth. Another truth that we know. Many people live with cancer all their life and it never killed them. And, you know, when people find out about cancer, because of what they believe about cancer, I'm going to say it again, because what they believe about cancer, based on how they've been educated, it turns on certain triggers in the body. And then the cancer is now going to do this. It's going to spread. Okay? When the body was doing a perfectly good job in keeping it in one place, in quarantining it, by the way. All right? And so when you believe, if you believe that cancer is a death sentence, then of course, when you hear it, your chemistry is going to change. And so the Bible, we come from the biblical perspective. The Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You need to get the mind right. That's very important when you're dealing with cancer patients. Very important. You can play around with the food, the supplements and stuff, but if their mind is bent on death, then they are trying to see if something works. They don't believe that it works. Remember, guys, we are beings that whether we want to admit it or not, we believe. Every one of us. And anybody wants to say, I don't believe, then I'm going to say, well, why do you do anything not knowing the end thereof? You believe the result will come. That's why you do it. Okay? And so it's very important to understand that, guys. This presentation, as we share it, one of the fundamental truth is, what's your perspective on this word cancer? I always use the analogy. The sun, where does it set? It rises where?
In the east.
And sets in the west.
In the west.
That's what we have been taught. But when you do your own research, you will find out that the sun never set. It is your perspective. Where you're standing, make it look. Because the fact of the matter, we know we're in time zone. Right now, folks are still in the morning time in some parts of the world. We're almost in the night here. The sun has just come up for them. It's one sun. And so the fact is, the sun never sets. And the fact about cancer is, it doesn't have to kill you. It's a fact. So let's work with the facts, okay? And place our belief around that fact, rather than just saying cancer kills. All right? So I just wanted to share that. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Let's go.
Okay. Really quickly recapping from last week. We looked at what is cancer, what causes it, cancer in the immune system, and then we kind of zoomed into breast cancer because last week was Breast Cancer Month, the end of October. Yeah, it was. So that's why we kind of zoomed in there. Today we're not going to specifically deal with no particular cancer. Yes, we might mention one or two, but we're not. That's not the point of this presentation. We just want to teach you more about the condition in general. Okay, so we're not going to tell you about no particular cancer. In the week, I think TTI did a program with Alvin and Charlene on prostate cancer. All right, and that was a good program. I didn't get to watch all of it, but you stuck it out.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you can also go back, guys, if you want to hear specific information about prostate cancer. Go onto the TTI YouTube channel, and you will be able to watch that presentation about prostate cancer. But today we're just still dealing with general. Maybe when we get into so we're on series 4, we can start segmenting and really going into specific cancers and the do's and the don'ts and the whats and so on and so forth. For now, if you need further information about specific cancers, you can go. Alvin did one on prostate cancer, or you can see our website. We'll post it on the chat. Click on it. We have a cancer website. Again, we do not claim to cure no disease. That is not what we do. Okay, but we unimpede the immune system, and the body is able to carry out results. So what is cancer? From last week, what did we say was again? Yeah, what is cancer? Rapid cell growth.
Yes, and it's failure of the checkpoint systems. I think I posted on the I posted on the WhatsApp group that the cell, before it replicates, it has to stop and see if replication is possible. It has to look at that there's no damage to the genetic material and that it has everything that it needs. Now, one of the major checkpoints is a protein regulator called P53. So if that fails, what has been shown is, if a cell multiplies itself, and when it divides, there's genetic material, it does not necessarily go on to replicate. The body says, look, there's something wrong with this cell. So it starts making a lot more P53, and the P53 come in and it says, okay, we need to fix this cell because it cannot continue to multiply. But if you have a problem with your P53, if you're not making it, or it's in itself mutated, then you're likely to get cancer because that checkpoint is not working. So that's one of the things that we looked at about what is cancer. Failure.
And what causes it, the cells to change. We also looked at a few of the causes that will cause that kind of dysfunction. Sorry, I think the cameras have dropped. All right, so we looked at some of the things that will cause some of the changes to happen. Again, we looked at a bit of diet and lifestyle and things like, our behaviors. All right, now let me go back there. So we looked at a few of these things here. Okay, we're good. All right, carry on.
So we said all of these things would contribute to cancer. Obesity, having type 2 diabetes, a lifestyle where you don't exercise. Remember, cancer is essentially a dysfunction of the immune system. That's why we started seeing a lot of new kinds of cancer when HIV, not even HIV, when AIDS became really big, especially in South Africa in the hospitals. Nutritional deficiencies are going to lead to cancer, because of the poor diet. Genetics load the gun. So you need to check your family history to see what kind of cancer runs in the family. Any kind of oxidative stress, that is stress within your cells. So that could be from chemicals, the air you breathe, any other kind of toxins that happen in the environment, smoking, alcohol, even stress itself. But one of the biggest things are pharmaceutical drugs. The medication that we, in my profession as doctors, give to you can also be a contributor to cancer, because they cause a dysfunction of the cell. Okay, and then obviously you got the things like insomnia. Again, guys, you got the screen here. Yeah. You got insomnia, and deficiencies in the body, which we'll look into briefly a little bit more. Okay, and chronic inflammation. We will also look into that a little bit more. And this is just to recap from last week. Today, our new topic, okay? Today, we'll look at prevention, after diagnosis, diet, nutrition, and lifestyle, and therapies. You'll find this one quite interesting. It's not a long presentation, but it's got a lot of information. Okay? Doc, what would you say about prevention here? I say prevention is better than cure. Remember, not to speak badly of my profession, but we are managers of disease. We don't really do much in terms of preventative healthcare. The extent of our prevention is to go for early diagnosis. So prevention falls into your hands and in your arms. So it's important to make sure that you don't put into your body anything that is going to be causing damage to your cells. So we really should not smoke. Smoking is a problem. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anybody on here is listening, but if you are smoking and you're struggling with it, again, do give us a shout on our website. We will be able to see how we can help you overcome the habit. Okay. Yeah. So, and it's we were seeing a lot of young people from one of the companies that work with dangerous chemicals, and already their health was starting to be affected. So that's what we're talking about. Protecting your skin from the sun. Look, the sun is good, but if the truth of the matter is, if your cells are already unhealthy and damaged, then the sun is going to cause more damage. It's the difference between somebody who's healthy spending time in the sun, their skin glows. But when you're already sickly and your skin is already sickly and you spend time in the sun, then it causes damage to the sun, to your skin. But also being mindful not to spend too much time in the sun. You should not burn. You should spend enough time to get a light little tan. A healthy diet. This is critical and foundational. A healthy diet is a must, because through our diet, we can either be introducing toxins into our body. And when we're introducing toxins, it means we're not providing our body with the nutrients that we need. So you're going to suffer from both toxicity and deficiency based on the diet that you're eating. So that's very important in terms of prevention. Maintaining a healthy weight, as we saw that obesity is a risk factor for cancer. So maintaining a healthy weight is important, and being physically active. Okay, movement is important, and exercise is important. There's physical activity and there's exercise. They're two different things, and both are important in life. Practicing safe sex and avoiding risky behavior. We will be going more into details. You're probably thinking, what sex got to do with cancer, right? Because when Jason does men's health, it always sounds like sex is this wonderful thing. Yes, it is, but it must be practicing of safe sex, and you will see that it is possible from unsafe sexual practices, especially in the early years, to end up with cancer. So pay attention to that. Keeping the immune system in good working order. I cannot say this enough times, because as we said, cancer is a failure of the immune system. Your immune system is supposed It's a last checkpoint to see that, okay, the cell, it has not committed suicide, it has not been repaired, your natural killer cells are supposed to come and eat it up. So your immune system must be working. If you're in a state of chronic inflammation, your immune system is not working well, it needs to be modulated. So that's important. And then knowing your family medical history, because it tells you where you're genetically prone. Not that you're going to have the cancer that runs in your family, but you know that in my family, we've got a weakness. Our breasts have a weakness, or our liver has a weakness, or our skin has a weakness because of this kind of genetic thing that's happening. So if you live a lifestyle that is cancer forming, it's going to show up. Okay, so it's important to know that. Okay,
all right, thanks for that. In regards to also this bit where it says healthy diet. Okay, healthy diet is actually fundamental for all of them, and we will look at that. The ones that you see in red, we're gonna zoom in on those a little bit. Smoking, protecting your skin, we're just letting you know what things you need to do, and they will come out more in other presentation. But today, we're gonna focus more on your diet and practice. Right. Let me move on. Let's see. Okay. I remember also, guys, if you need information, that's the website. You can always access us and send us a WhatsApp. We will always be able to share more information. So I'm saying, if you think we need to explain more about what you just saw, just send us a message or something from anywhere in the world. You can access our website, I'm sure. All right. After diagnosis, folks, as we said, they get afraid. It's natural to feel a loss after receiving a confirmed diagnosis of cancer. It's natural to, and that is because how we have been educated. We have been educated to fear this thing, and so when we hear about it, especially when we hear about that we got it, it becomes a problem. Okay. At first, the thought of living with cancer become overwhelming. Some might even feel like giving up on life. But you know what comes to mind? Now bear with me, everyone. There's a story in the Bible. I like to tell stories. There's a story in the Bible about this gentleman. His name was Hezekiah. Okay, and he was sick. He had cancer, apparently, according to what the scientific, they did their research. They found out he had cancer. And what happened? Apparently, God sent his messenger to tell him, hey, you're going to die. A lot of time, folks, when you go to the doctor tells you, put your house in order. As a matter of fact, yesterday, I remember I went on a house visit. I went on a visit yesterday. And I went to see, it was a cancer patient. We've been seeing them, but we didn't know their diagnosis. Though we had our suspicion, we didn't have a confirmed diagnosis. Yesterday, they did get a confirmed diagnosis. I sent you the paper. So I said to them, I spoke to the family. I said, no, we will see what we can do, and we'll do what we need to do, and blah, blah, blah. As I was walking out, the family member came and said, let me tell you something. You know what the doctor told us? I said, what? Said, go and put things in order. She won't make it. But that's a doctor. We can doubt the doctor. But can you imagine God telling us, go set your house in order? Go set your house in order. I mean, personally, I would just go and set my house in order. I'm serious. But this is the power of belief, right? This is the power of belief and trusting in God. In the Bible says this fella named Hezekiah. He said, no, I ain't ready to die yet. Have mercy on me. Remember me. And the Almighty in his power allowed him to live for another 15 years. But it was on condition. And this is what the belief comes in, and action. Faith without work is dead. If you read further down, this is in Isaiah 38, by the way. Further down in verse 21. The prophet, or the man who told him that he's to set his house in order. The one that also told him, you're not going to die. After he told him he's going to die. Right? Said, listen, take a lump of fig and put it on the boil, and you shall be well.
The boil being the tumor.
The boil being the tumor. And by the way, for those of you who out there saying, what is this story? Listen carefully. Listen carefully. The doctors can tell you you are going to die, but it doesn't mean. We have dealt with patients here who the doctors have given time to live, and they don't die when the doctor said. It is very important for us to understand the power that runs in what you believe, because when you believe something, it will have power over you. Okay, there's another story about the one who had the cancer. They checked it. They found a tumor in his cancer. The doctor thought it was cancer. Nah? Now he said, look, you're going to die in 3 months. 3 months to the day, the person died. When they done the autopsy and cut the thing wasn't even tumorous. What killed him? The belief that cancer. And guys, I cannot stress it enough, because there's a little thing here that we don't understand about the power of belief. It's a very powerful thing. It's very, very powerful. There's a connection with what you believe and what happened. Now, one might say, oh, so you mean if I believe I'm going to be a millionaire, I'm going to be a millionaire? All right. Well, you can be if you know what to do, and if God bless you like that. But when it comes to your health, your physiology, internally, what's going on in here, there's a serious matter with what you believe and what manifests in your health. Very serious thing. So it's very important that we have proper information on what happened. And this here is what happened when people get diagnosed. The minute you get diagnosed, you're going to remember that person who died from cancer and that story you heard. That's what's going to happen. And that is going to confirm your belief, if that's what you believe. You know what I mean? But Hezekiah, according to the word of God, he said he knew all of that, but he knew somebody or a system that override whatever he believed. And so what he did, he placed his trust in there. He placed his trust in that system. And the result was, all right, put a lump of fig on it. Just because you believe you're going to get well, don't mean you must sit down and fold your hand. A lot of people have prayed about getting cured from diabetes. A lot of people have prayed about, and they sincerely believe it, but nothing happened because they did not know what action to take. It doesn't, because you believe something, don't mean you do nothing. Okay? Faith without work is dead. I am not preaching, but I'm letting you know there's a physiology effect in the body based on what you believe and how things manifest in your health. Okay? Either for happiness or for sadness. It has a lot to do with what's going on here. So anytime somebody, if this will ever happen to any one of you, or if it has happened to anyone, you've gone to the doctor and you found out that you have this thing and you have confirmed it. Remember, what you believe from now on is going to be important in the outcome of this. I remember when Dr. Kamotsa first came to join me, the day before.
As we continue,
the day before, she said to me, I don't really get sick. So for those of you who know something called niacin, vitamin B3, I said, let me see if this doctor is is a superwoman. So I gave her a niacin and
a high dose and an empty stomach.
A high dose of that niacin. I always take it on the empty stomach, by the way. And she fainted. She passed out. And then I said, okay, she's human. I will work with her. So, we have to know what we believe and what works, because faith without work is dead. Okay, here's what happened. If you are diagnosed with a condition and you're feeling fearful, it is natural. It is natural. You are going to feel fearful. You're going to feel overwhelmed. But all right, don't let this become your permanent state. Okay? You need to catch yourself, pull yourself together, take a deep breath, and know that there is hope. All you have heard about cancer is not all the truth. You understand? So one of the things you want to do is to know the detail of the type of cancer you're dealing with. Find a good doctor. Find a doctor who is fair, somebody who can explain, and somebody who's willing to listen to you, not just dismiss you. A lot of doctors, they will just dismiss you because of what they believe and what they have learned, So find a good doctor, somebody you can sit down and talk to, who can explain to you what is cancer, which is what we're trying to do. But maybe this platform is not the best. You want to be intimate and, close up. You can also give us a call Dr. Komoso will be able to speak to you and explain to you in layman terms what is going on in your body, so you can then be empowered to take action. Because some of us, when we hear cancer, we're like, hey, yo, it's over. And we start acting like it's over. And we take treatment, but we kind of believe, hey, I'm just buying time. And it's better doing something than nothing. So let me just buy time.
And by the way,
you know,
in a state of fearfulness, just pause. You know, sometimes there'll be pressure on you to decide what it is you want to do.
That's right. Man.
You should not make decision while you're still in that state of fearfulness, because you're going to take any and everything that people throw at you. Okay, so it's important to just tell your doctor, okay, let me just kind of understand what this is that you're saying, and then give me the details of the cancer diagnosis. Let me understand what this is, what the treatment options are. And then when you go back, people, when you go and you talk to your doctor, you must feel that you can ask questions and you're not being dismissed, because what's happening is that things are going to get done to your body. You don't want afterwards the doctor says, oops, and you're like, oops, what? Well, this is a lot of men who take the option of surgery or even radiotherapy for prostate cancer, they never know that it's going to affect their sexual function. And I bet you if they had that conversation with their doctor, they'd be able to say, wait a minute, I'm a young man with a young wife. What is this going to do to my family? Let me have a look. So they take the treatment, and then afterwards they're like, doc, I'm urinating myself, things are not working out. And they're like, oh yeah, that's a side effect. But what quality of life are these side effects going to give you? So you need to be able to have these conversations before you make up your mind. Remember, the cancer has been in your body for years and years. So really, seriously, it's rare that it's going to kill you just now. Because it's been there, unless you've missed all the signs, I wouldn't understand that. And then look at complementary and alternative.
And I put complementary there, guys. I put complementary there because the truth is that was what was there first. Okay, it is now complementary, but a lot of the holistic practice of medicine was the original medicine. But if you study history, you will see that at a point in history, the medical fraternity, as you now know it, took over by taking over the education system of the doctors. Okay, and then created this huge industry of pharmacology along with medicine and surgery, and so that now that is the standard. But remember, complementary was originally the first medicine, and whilst one might look at it and shrug it off as insignificant and not so, because it's not packaged in a white coat and great elaborated languages of Latin tongue, that it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's been working, it was working, and it still works. We just need to understand that if it's an option that we want to take, okay, in light of what's out there. And so if you are diagnosed, or if you're faced with a diagnosis right now, don't get fearful, as Dr. was saying. Take a deep breath. You had this thing probably 10 years ago and nobody knew about it. All right, just remember that first thing. It is not your death sentence. It's not the day when you got diagnosed that this thing started. It started, it's been there. It's been there. So take a break, make conscious decision. Don't make rash decision, okay? Speak to your doctor, find a good doctor. If you're not satisfied, go and find a good doctor that will explain. If you can't find none, please do speak to Dr. Komoso. She's here. And as she says, we are busy. I do not agree with 72 hours. I say, give us a little bit more time. 72 hours is a short time. It's not long. Trust me, but it's good intentions. We mean good when we say that. But we will get back to you. We have a serious backlog. All right. And sometimes I realize that, when somebody is sick, they're like, I am there, I'm dying here. All right. This other 50 people is dying too. And we can say this one is worse than you and this one is worse. We will make that decision. Although you are urgent, we understand. We will get to you in time. Okay. Now, one other thing we want to look at.
Eating a healthy diet, foundational. We get a lot of patients who says, my doctor said I can eat any and everything because I already have cancer. Absolutely not true. that's akin, your house is on fire and you keep adding fuel to it, paraffin or petrol or whatever it is. All right. So eating a healthy diet is important both for prevention and for treatment. Okay, because you need, in the foods that you eat, we need vitamins, we need minerals, we need all these different nutrients that will help lower the cancer risk. I'll go into a bit more detail later on. Researchers have been studying dietetics,
dietetics, very important.
How food interact with things at a cellular level. Did you know that vitamin D actually upregulates that P53? And if your P53 is not working well, with vitamin D and vitamin C and things like turmeric, they can help your P53 to work well. And cruciferous vegetables like your broccoli and your cabbage, powerful anti-cancer food. You see, so these are the things that we don't know.
One of the things I want to say here, though, because I know this is going to be in the background, even though it might not come up on the screen and nobody might answer. You know, we're talking about hybrid food. When you mention broccoli and cauliflower, you will hear there's many school of thoughts about there. Now, we need to understand what that means. Okay, when you say hybrid, the reason why I'm saying it, we have cross-pollination. I have a friend, he's a plant scientist, and he was explaining this thing to me. It's like me. If I go and I mate with another race, okay, and I have a child, that child is defective. No. So now, right. So now when we hear about this crossbreed and hybrid, we need to understand what happened and investigate, because somebody out there is going to say, well, broccoli is not good because it's not original, it's hybrid. That's sometimes you need to understand why that terminology is used and understand what is the nutritional benefit in that food. So it has been mixed. Okay. Do you understand what that means? It's been mixed, so it can't be used. We need to understand what there is food that has been mixed and chemically enhanced that, yes, we totally disagree with, but things like broccoli and stuff like that, we need to understand what it means when it says it is not an original food. Okay, and so understand the health benefits thereof.
It's not genetically modified.
Right.
It is cross-pollination and hybridization.
That's right.
It's mixing of different things and it produces this compound. So we need to not be fanatical about issues and say, I want an original food. We need to understand a little bit of science here and there. So the foods that we're talking about that are plant-based, okay, and the reason we say plant-based, it has been shown that animal protein are responsible for switching on cancer genes. Now I need to pause right there. Animal proteins are responsible for switching on cancer genes. So a plant-based diet is superior when it comes to preventing cancer. That is a fact.
It's a better way.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, it's not to say you can't get cancer.
Yes.
But it's a step in the right direction. You know, it's not just bad diet alone. We have genetics, we have environmental factors, diets, lifestyle practices. So we're saying in light of all the things that can cause this problem, stepping in a plant-based diet, increasing your plant-based intake, it's a good thing. It's a better move than increasing or staying on a heavy meat diet.
Yes, because we can't do much about environmental factors. Okay, there's going to be pollution around us, but you can control very easily what it is that you eat. So that's important. So we need these foods that have your carotenoids, which are found in the red, orange, yellow, and some dark green vegetables. We need your polyphenols. Polyphenols also have been shown to interact with P53, and these are found in herbs and spices and vegetables and nuts and apples and onions and berries. You see they're different colors. And you need your aluminium compounds found in chives and garlic. I've recently learned to love leeks, and onion.
Yeah. You know, Doc, one of the thing is this is one of the things that I found out, yeah. And this is where I believe a lot of people go wrong. All right. Now, what's his name? The father of medicine? Hippocrates. Yes. It says, let thy food be thy
medicine,
and thy medicine be thy food. Okay. It sounds good,
Yes.
and it's truth
To a certain extent, but there's greater truth.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. There's more to it. Herbs are for healing. A lot of folks have made the change, the transition diet, and they have made good moves. They have changed from a heavy meat and heavy dairy to a full plant-based, and they still come down. You're not using enough herbs. You don't understand how to use herbs to help deal with damaged cells and broken systems in your body. Okay? You need to understand the place and the rational use of herbs. Your food is not your herb. Your food is your food. Herbs are herbs. Herbs, you stay on it for a period of time. Okay? And some of us might say, yeah, well, this is a herb. Listen carefully. There's certain food that it can be classified as a herb in the herb family, but they are not for restoring your cells when they are damaged. They are for nutrients. They give you energy.
Well, the best way I've heard you put it, Jay, is when you say, let your food be your sustenance and your herbs be your medicine.
That's right.
So you take in your food for your nutrients, for your day-by-day functioning and everything. But when there's a problem with the cells,
That's
and
right.
even before there's a problem, to prevent and make sure that restoration and that the correction happens at a cellular level, that's where you use the herbs, right?
Right. Look here, right? That the element, yeah. Most of us, we use garlic.
Yes.
But how do we use it? We cut it up and put in our food. The minute we get a cold, we blend it up, and some of us boil it and drink it, and so on and so forth. But we that's emergencies. How many of you will take a garlic and just pop it in your mouth and chew it? Just like that. It will burn you. It will give you a little harsh. And by the way, if you got an allergic reaction to any one of these things, do not use them. Any one of these herbs or food or whatever. If you have an allergic reaction, it might sound good when we talk about it. If you have an allergy, then that's another story. But how much of us would just take a garlic and pop it?
Not on a normal day.
We wait till we get a cold.
Yes.
How much of us take with onion? Onions is sweet. Onions got a little sugar taste to it, and just bite into it like an apple and eat it. Most of us won't do that. But you see, here's what I'm saying. But we'll put it in our food for taste or whatever. And yes, it's got some benefits. But when you are consciously eating and putting these things in your body for restorative health, you will need to understand how and how often you're using them, and they will do wonderful. If you find yourself of eating something that is a bit taxing on your system, and you start eating some of these natural herbs, they're going to help your system to come right. It's not making an excuse for you to continue, by the way, but it's going to help your system to come right once you stop the offensive behavior.
I think I understand why sometimes I just catch Jason. He's just having this bowl and it's got all these green things and the garlic. He eats garlic and the ginger just as they are in his food. And sometimes you have one meal and the rest of the time that's just what you're putting in your mouth.
Because it's a principle I learned from the dog. When the dog is feeling sick, he stopped eating everything processed. He start eating grass. And for most of you, especially you who live in the Caribbean and have dogs, you know what I'm saying. When a dog is sick, he doesn't touch nothing that a dog will eat meat and food, whatever, they're greedy. But when he's sick, he will not touch your food. He will go back to nature. Simple lesson. I've never seen a cow with a cancer that eat natural food. Okay, so herbs is not supposed to be your food. We're talking about, we have different grade of herb, but we're talking about medicinal herbs. Those things are powerful. And this is just to share with you what some of the active ingredients are, but at a deeper level, we will have to share with you what some of those herbs are. We will share briefly today, but at a deeper level. When we reach about series 6, which is next year this time.
Yeah. So
yes.
One of the things you need to start doing right now on your list of to do, because remember today we're talking about what you can do to keep cancer away or to deal with cancer. Look at your diet and make the changes that are necessary. First things first.
Okay.
And these are some of the other compounds we're talking about. Antioxidants. Anti is against oxidation. Remember we spoke about how oxidative stress causes damage to the cell and can lead to cancer. So these include things like carotene, selenium. Selenium is also very powerful for cancer. You will see as we talk about it. Vitamin C, one of my favorite things. Please, you need to stop me so that I don't get all over.
You'll get a chance to speak about it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So now remember those things: carotene, which is vitamin A, selenium, which is a mineral, vitamin C, and these, they protect against damage, because like I said, we're living in an environment. We're living in an environment, and vitamin D, obviously, we've been talking a lot about it. We're living in an environment where we're constantly being bombarded by toxins. So these are going to protect your body from the toxins from the environment. One of the talks that Charlene is part of TTI. She does the show on Thursday. One of the things she talks about, Jason, is the use of personal body products and things in the home, like the powders that you use and the soaps that you use and the makeups and all of these different things. A lot of them have chemicals that are damaging to the body. So if we're putting those and we're not having carotene or selenium or vitamin C or vitamin D, then we're causing damage and we're not having anything to protect ourselves. So that's important to use. Oxidants can be naturally occurring, so you can find them in your food, or you can find them in supplements as well. Fruits and vegetables are rich in cancer-fighting nutrients. So we said you need to change your diet, but as changing your diet, a lot of people then go on a very heavy plant-based, fully cooked meals, you know, but you need to have your raw fruits and your vegetables, which are rich in anti-cancer fighting, nutrients. The more color, the more nutrients. Because we get busy sometimes, I make it a rule that on Fridays, I go and I buy my cherries, my berries, my pomegranates, all these richly colored fruits, and I just eat them. And that's what I like to do, so that so I know that 4 times in a month, that's what I'm stuffing into my mouth. And these foods can help lower your risk of, in a natural way, of lowering your risk of cancer.
Okay, all right. I think we're gonna have a lot of questions, Doc. I hear somebody just sent me a message saying, "Hey, be prepared to answer a lot of questions." We're not prepared. Okay. The World Health Organization, WHO, okay, they say that there are convincing evidence that processed meat causes cancer. Okay, now I decided I wanted to zoom into this. I'm in South Africa, and
no, Jay.
No, and for those of you who know the Caribbean, we like meat there, yeah? We like meat. Everywhere like meat. Everybody likes meat. Yeah. But I've seen meat eaten here I've never seen nowhere else in the world. All right. And I'm saying this out of utter love, because I know those folks are out there. They're just putting these things in their system, and they're planting the seed of destruction. Every time I walk down, I see what they call it, braai. They do braais in South Africa. In Jamaica, they do jerk. In another country, they call it barbecuing. Okay, but braai, barbecue, and jerk is all the same thing. All right.
You have that fire with coal.
That's right, and it's burning the meat. Yeah. Terrible thing. Okay. Now the World Health Organization said processed meat causes cancer. That's the world, the same ones that's telling us about COVID-19. We're taking them very serious on that issue. Distance and sanitization in regards to COVID-19, but they're not taking away our meat, and they're not telling us how to do it. But it's strange, but yet this thing is killing us even more. So that processed meat causes cancer, classified as group 1 carcinogen. Okay, so it is a cancer-causing thing. It's okay. It is connected with specifically colorectal cancer and stomach cancers. Okay, we all understand cleaning the colon is very important. So this is one of the things that you should do if you have been using meat. You need to clean your colon. Okay. Example of processed meat that have carcinogenic properties include frankfurters, hot dogs. You know them, ham, sausages, canned beef or canned meat, beef jerky, and canned, what's this one? Canned or lunch meat. That's the process.
Those ham and
all of those things that you give your kids. For lunch. I used to eat it. Bologna for lunch. bologna and biscuits. So all these things is what they call processed meat. All right. In other words, the World Health Organization know them to be carcinogen. Okay.
Red and processed meats. We've spoken about the processed meats. Red meat, we all know about that. That's your beef and your lamb and all of that. They raise the most concern in terms of your cancer risk. Okay. Red meat include, they've put pork in there, and beef and veal and lamb. And I mean, we're going into December in South Africa. Everybody's going to be having a braai, and everybody's going to be having, the red meats. They're going to be having processed meats. They're going to be having bacon and ham and all of these things, and they have been shown to cause cancer. Any amount of processed meat and more than around 18 ounces of fresh meat per week are most strongly linked with a higher rate of a person having cancer, especially colorectal cancer, because remember, meat has no fiber, so it's just going to sit in there
for hours and days.
And it's going to putrefy, which is threatening. But the worst thing in South Africa with the braai that we're talking about is that burnt piece that you like so much. It has shown to be more carcinogenic than cigarette smoking.
Here you go.
Oh, okay. Yes, burnt meat. Some research suggests that burnt or charred meat may increase the risk of cancer. And that's, like I said, more than cigarette smoking. Salting is a traditional method of preserving food, especially fish, which is frequently used in East Asia and China.
That's a big cause, saltfish.
And especially the kind of salt also that is being used.
Yeah, the white salt.
Sugary drinks or sugar in general can lead to immune suppression.
Host, can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. I just saw a message came up, said internet connection unavailable.
Oh.
All right, thank you. We're allowed. Okay, sugary foods. Close down your immune system. Feed cancer cells. They say that cancer cells are obligate glucose metabolizer, meaning they are obligated to take the first energy from the sugars you eat. They're obligate glucose metabolizer. When you take in sugar, if you got cancer cells, they will absorb the energy from the sugar first, okay, before your other cells. Hence why when somebody have cancer, as it gets really progressively worse, they have no energy, but the cancer cell is rapid. It's because it's taking up all your sugars and it's controlling and growing at rapid speed.
So,
okay.
Going back, so the first thing we said you need to do is look at your diet and add those things, add those fruits and vegetables in their raw state. The second thing we really want to do is, these are the things we want to avoid: meat, processed, burnt, in whatever form, depending on how serious you really are about this cancer. And then the sugary drinks, because you are feeding the cancer. So those are the two things already. We're talking about cancer part 2. What can you do to prevent cancer, and what can you do if you already have it to manage it?
What's that sausage looking thing in South Africa?
In South Africa, we love wors.
Wors.
Yes.
Wors. in Jamaica, we like jerk chicken and jerk pork. And by the way, another thing, Doc, it's not on here. Pork. We know that one. That it's got parasites. And guys, if you understand cancer, that's a whole different, that's us going down into mitigating details now when it comes to cancer. Parasites and cancer, they got something very, very, very much in common. As a matter of fact, one of the authors, which is Dr. Hulda Clark, in a book called Cure for All Diseases, you can check it. She says, at the base of every cancer, there's parasite. It's there. So pork, you don't want to mess around with pork, and nothing, by the way, that causes parasites in your body. All right. Just wanted to add that additional information. How about this here, Doc? This is something that most people don't know about. I mean, this is the one that kind of gets us going. We look into this one deeply.
I think a lot of people might have gotten an idea that cancer might cause viruses can cause cancer when they heard about the HPV, when the vaccines came out. Remember that viruses are DNA or RNA material, they're genetic material. And what they do is they go into your cell right at a genetic level and interfere. What is cancer if not an interruption of the making of your genetic material? So viruses are capable of causing and causing cancers in humans. Epstein-Barr virus, which has been shown to be the cause of Kaposi sarcoma. Kaposi sarcoma is a skin cancer. We see it a lot in patients who have not HIV, who have AIDS, okay, an acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. So the immune system goes down, and guess what the virus does? It changes the cell, and because there's no immune system to keep track of what's happening,
it goes.
Voila, you got.
We're gonna do a series on that.
We will have to.
We'll have to do that's gonna be our next series after cancer, by the way.
All right. Then HPV virus. All sexually active people have this human papilloma virus. Okay. That's what the research shows. It's been shown to not be there in nuns because they are abstaining. And this is the virus that can lead to cervical cancer. And remember, cervical cancer is the second leading cause of cancer in women.
Yeah.
All right. So now that is caused by a virus. Why would a virus? It sits there at the cervix, and given an opportunity, it will change your your cell into a cancerous cell. Hepatitis B, and not just hepatitis B, hepatitis A, B, and C, but hepatitis B being very common. So these are the things. These are some of the viruses. There are a lot more viruses that cause. We were talking earlier about, I think it's Charlie Sheen's father who's got throat cancer. But guess what virus caused that?
All right. So it's a funny one. This is a presentation. If Stephanie is still on, we used to do this presentation with Brother Roderick Gabriel in Grenada. Stephanie, you might recall. And one of the things, Gabriel is a lab tech. He does all these bloods, and he would say to me, Jay, I'm finding viruses in parts of the body that it should never be, and there's only one way of it getting there. Now, whilst it's a funny thing, because look, when it comes to sexual, we said avoid risky sexual behavior.
Yes.
All right. Now, we were created to do things in a particular way. Now, everybody can make choice. We can make choice.
Yes.
You can make choice to do how you want to do what you want to do, but there is a way that works better, and there's a way that works best. Okay. And so when we violate God's best way for better and then avoid better for the worst, thinking because we can make whatever choice, we have serious consequences.
Yes.
Listen, Mr. Sheen, you're talking about a virus that has nothing to do with this part of the body, yet it is there. Okay, that is playing with funny behaviors within the sexual realm. Our mouths, this here, whilst it's everybody's personal choice, but the logic says it's for eating food, and drinking water, and speaking. Okay, if you want to think I'm joking, check. The Lord has made us with other body parts to deal with other things. Our mouth is for dealing with food, water, drinking, and speaking. Okay, and if your nose is blocked, you can breathe. It allows that, but it shouldn't be involved in certain, because it creates a lot of problems for your health. Remember, it's funny, we just can't get it. It's not the day we plant the seed, we reap the fruit. And I'm saying this, it doesn't matter what point in your life that cancer comes, it is never on time. It's always bad timing. So when it comes to these viruses, though, they cause cancer. How much people have we seen with these cancers, especially the cervical things?
We've seen a lot,
and we know how that one looks. It's a terrible thing.
It's a
terrible thing. When it's in that stage, I remember it's a terrible thing. Yeah. Anyway, that virus can get in your throat, man. Let's be careful. Yeah, let's be careful what we do with our body parts, and according to how it was created. And so viruses can sit in your body, and lead to cancers.
So that's why the other slide said safe sexual practices. You need to have a look if you're having multiple sexual partners. I remember one of the things that was very sad for me when I was a junior doctor is seeing it. I saw a 21-year-old girl who wanted to come in for a pap smear, but then in the public sector we didn't have enough resources for that. She came back 2 years later at the age of 23, and she had cervical cancer. Now, the reason regulation says you should only have a pap smear at the age of 30 because of resources is because you're assuming that even if somebody gets infected with HPV, it's going to take about 10 years before it shows up. Now, how do you, at the age of 21, already have, cervical cancer. It turned out Ellie, she started having sex at the age of 12, then she was HIV positive, her immune system was weak, poor die, and therefore by the age of 23, she had this cancer. So this is what we're talking about, and we're being real with you, because you're eating healthy, but now you start doing anything and everything with your body parts and with everybody, and you're getting all these viruses in, and your immune system becomes overwhelmed, and these viruses have a field day. And remember, the HPV virus, where it can be better dealt with in that area, this part of the mouth was never designed to be able to deal with that kind of virus. Right. Do you understand? So it's going to wreak havoc in this.
It's going to cause some problems. It's going to, and when we go through the different stages of cancers, the different types of cancers, we will have to look at this again.
Yes.
But as I said, guys, we're not speaking of no specific cancer today, but we're just giving you background knowledge. Now, our time is running up, and I'm going to have to wind up. All right. Back to basics before we go into giving you a little go-away pack and the way forward. We have given you so much information. Again, remember, you can watch this presentation on YouTube.
True Temperance International.
If you want to have more information, we have a website. If you want to personally speak to us, we do have a website. And also remember, for those of us who want to be with TTI more often and spend time, looking at other holistic health, we also have another group that you can go there and learn more about who this creator, God, is, and understand how he works in the human race, if you choose to do so. But for now, on this platform, we are dealing with your health. So, Doc, we're winding up. We want to make some solid changes. We don't have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know.
Well, we actually, all of us watching this, we've got some cell out there that is not right.
Mm-hmm.
We're just hoping that we're hoping that P53 is working,
mm-hmm.
and we're hoping that our immune system is working to deal with it. But we can't just hope and pray. This is what you can do if you have not been diagnosed with cancer, and this is what you can do when you have been diagnosed with cancer. Before you even jump into, doctor, what herb can I take? This is the foundation.
You must do this.
You have to do this first. Nutrition. You must practice sensible habits and eat natural, fresh fruits and vegetables every day. If you have your own your own garden, that becomes easier, because I know a lot of people say mid-month I've ran out of money. That's fine. That may be truthful, but if 15 days of the month you're only eating processed foods, you're gonna run into problems
sooner or later.
So nutrition is critical. This is foundation.
Fundamental.
Number one.
Fundamental.
Yes.
Fundamental. Nutrition is fundamental, guys. Right across the board, regardless of what you believe and what you think, we all eat.
Yes.
Am I right? So that is crucial to understand what to eat, when to eat, how to eat. Nutrition. Exercise is something that we all should do consciously. We should make time for exercise. I haven't been doing so. Confession is good for your soul. It's also good. I haven't been exercising as much as I should, and I'm taking it for joke now. But you know what? I'm gonna make sure this week I will not. Next week I will tell you I have been doing it with more conviction. So I haven't been exercising much, but exercise is very, very important. Apparently, research shows that it reduces cancer risk greatly. Second to nutrition, it's one of the best things you can do. Okay, it's exercise. Daily physical activity is a must. We do at the center here. We take people for walks, and we make sure every day they walk at least 2-3 times a day. And make sure you put that into your lifestyle. Some exercise. You can go to the gym.
When I'm washing my dishes, I do my squats. So I will put the glasses up and I will squat down to put the places underneath. So that physical activity is important.
Yes, very important.
Yes. Drinking water is absolutely important. How much water do you drink? We've done the water challenge. Do have a look at it, the elixir of life. And it must be good water that you're drinking. You don't want water that has toxins in it.
Sunlight, we spoke too much about that already. Vitamin D, we know that. Not too much, but make sure you have enough.
Yes. Temperance, part of True Temperance International. Avoiding the things that are going to give you cancer. So it's doing good things in moderation and avoiding the bad altogether. So your tobacco, your burnt meat, your sugary things, that's what temperance speaks to, in terms of making sure that you avoid or prevent cancer, or you starve it. Okay, when you're feeling tempted to eat that sugary bowl of sweets, just remember, all you're doing is you're feeding your cancer cells and you're suppressing your immune system. So be temperate.
Air, make sure you get good fresh air. We spoke about environmental factors. One thing, if you're in a certain environment, you work, you know, dust builders and construction workers, you're working in an environment where there's a lot of office workers as well.
Yes.
You are sitting in an air-conditioned room, and there's a certain amount of toxins in the air that you're breathing in. That's going to also have an effect. So fresh air, keep your windows open, spend time out in nature, walk in the forest, spend time in a park where you have fresh air.
Resting is absolutely critical. It's when we're sleeping that our body is able to do repairs to the body. So if you don't sleep, you are in trouble. You're also releasing melatonin, which does more than just help you sleep. It also, looks after your cells. So sleeping before 10, because the hours before midnight are absolutely critical. And also not just sleeping, but taking a day of rest.
Resting, relaxing.
Yes.
Not doing nothing, just nature.
Yes.
And God and nature. You know? And the last one, trust in God, a topic that a lot of folks might find hard to understand. But remember, as I said before, and I'm gonna say it again, we are designed to believe and believe and trust. You know, so why not try giving God a try?
Yes.
You know, it's a wonderful experience.
But also believing in God, for me as a medical doctor, it is believing in a God of love who created our body with grace in it. That it's not the same day that, you know, I used to eat a lot of dry meat. I used to drink a lot of wine. You know, I know that in my younger days, I have planted the seeds of cancer. I actually expected myself to have colorectal cancer. But believing in a God who says, if you will forsake your ways and come to me, Exodus 15:26, there's a promise. If you will diligently hearken and do, I will put none of these diseases in you. And therefore, when you change your lifestyle, you say he's a God of love, he's a God of grace, and he created for me, he created the human body with all these systems. He made sure P53 was there. He made sure that, you know, he gave us the right kind of diet. He made sure we had the sun. He's put a lot of these systems in place. So why not trust in his program of healthy living? The more I study the human body, Jay, the more I see a God of love who I should trust in terms of all my physical well-being, because in 3 John verse 2, he says, beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your spirit. He's not only concerned with our spirituality, he's concerned with our health. So once you put the foundation, those foundational 8 things in place, this is what you have.
Okay. This is the foundation stuff that Doc is talking about. These things all of us should do, you know, and then afterwards, if you want to say, well, Jay, what do I guess we got a little cancer pack for you, or cancer therapy for prevention. And if you do also have these issues, Doc, you can take them through the first one.
All right.
And
then the organs we're talking about detoxing are your organs of elimination. They are to get rid of toxins, because your body goes through a process of toxification where you make toxins, but we also put toxins into our body. So they need to be removed because the toxins are going to cause harm to your cells. Colon needs to be detoxed, okay? That you can do through taking something internally to help you go to the toilet. And we have for that, which camera am I using? A colon cleanser, all right? And it tastes very nice, actually. The first one was terrible, but this one tastes nice. So this is a colon cleanser. We recommend a person takes it 3 times a day for 3 days. It moves the waste. I remember one of my health practitioners who looks after me, when I went to after I gave her the colon cleanser, she said, I filled up the toilet. It was like cow dung. She could not believe that. And then she just felt so much better after that. So cleaning your colon, what we do at the center is we do colonic irrigation, and a lot of people are surprised by what comes out of them. All right, and you can say you'll do that at home, but there's a way that we do it here. I'm not selling our service. There's a way that we do it that is different. Okay, the liver has so many different functions, and some of them can only be done. It's a filter. It's to stop waste from going to the rest of your body. It needs to be assisted in the process of detoxification. There are different ways we use, like even your coffee enemas. There are herbs that can help with that. The kidneys, we did do a lemon challenge for those who could. It does help, you know, it does help with your kidneys. So that's important because that gets rid of the liquid, of the water soluble waste.
And by the way, look, I know some of you guys, you probably have studied herbs and have understood a little bit of herbs. What we're saying, we will get there. We will get there. We will tell you about herbs that you can specifically use to clean your kidneys. But fundamentals is important. Okay, drink more water, good clean water. Make sure your colon is, make sure you're going to the toilet.
Yes.
That's important. Quickest way to do it is use some lemon. That's going to help your system. All right. What about mind? Really quick. The mind, clearing out the mind.
Yes, thank you for saying really quick. You need to detox your mind.
Yeah.
If you're thinking negative thoughts, you're going to be making neurotransmitters and chemicals and hormones in an imbalanced manner, probably producing too much cortisol, which suppresses your immune system, and you will be causing harm to your own body. It's been shown. You know, let me not go into some of these details, but
there's presentation you've done on the mind, isn't it?
There is.
So go back on YouTube, check it out. Supplements. So this is what we're saying, guys. You're in your house right now at this, listen to this presentation. You're saying, all right, Jay, I hear Dr. Kamoso.
I've got the foundation.
We understand that we can do something, but what to do? Clean your colon. Make sure your liver is working well. Drink some water. Put some lemon in there. Get your kidneys functioning well. And take your mind off the things that's destroying you.
And very hard to like me.
There you go. I can't say it no, but I think it's in the book of Proverbs. Proverbs 17:22 tells you about a merry heart will go like medicine. That's what you need to do. Clean up and make sure your system is functioning. Then you're saying, all right, Jay, I'm going to do that. But now what are we going to do? All right, we spoke about those viruses. Zinc.
A powerful antiviral. Okay, I think a lot of you heard about zinc when the coronavirus came. It has been shown, I think there was a study done with HIV patients, and it shown that a lot of them were deficient of zinc. It is antiviral. So you need to be on zinc. Remember, we said viruses can also cause cancers. So be on zinc as a supplement in terms of
vitamin C. You all can get vitamin C capsules and stuff, but at certain stage, we got here, what we do here, we have what you call a high dose of vitamin C. We hook you up, and this one is a drip. Okay, now you can get this in England somewhere. In South Africa, we do it. Other people do it. A lot of drip bars are popping up all over the place, but because we have a medical understanding of it, we are able to give it to you in a medical way to deal with your condition. Go ahead, speak.
Yes, because vitamin C is antiviral, so it's gonna kill the viruses. Vitamin C is an antioxidant. Remember, we said you need antioxidant. Vitamin C boosts your immune system in 20 different ways. I mean, really seriously. And vitamin C, like I said, it activates P53. So we need to be on vitamin C. We don't make it, unfortunately. So we have to take it in on a daily basis, but you can only take so much orally. Hence, we do it via a drip to bypass the gut, because we are living such damaged life. We need higher requirements than we can take in orally.
Carry on, carry on.
And then
time is running.
Selenium as well is a powerful supplement. It also it works with other proteins that are regulators for P53. So selenium is important. Vitamin D, we've spoken about that, so I will not go into any more detail. MSM is anti-inflammatory. You can get it, is a naturally occurring compound. So make sure it will modulate your immune system. Remember, we said chronic inflammation can lead to cancer. So these are the supplements. Write them down. Get them. Don't wait until you're sick. But remember, vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble, so they can be stored. Make sure you don't get toxicity from them. And then, so I just needed to put that disclaimer. Herbs that you can use.
Papaya, guys. Now, there's many herbs, yeah? I know them, okay? We understand the power of herbs. But I want to just talk about something that I believe that all of us can have access to in wherever you are, whether you're in England or the Caribbean. And one of them is papaya, okay? Papaya is something that all of us can access. All right.
That's pawpaw for the South African.
Pawpaw. Now you can use this the fruit itself, but the real properties for cancers come from the leaf. As the Bible says, the leaf is for the healing of the nation. The pawpaw leaf have wonderful properties in killing those cancer cells and getting them out of there. Graviola, what we call soursop in the Caribbean, big on the scene, and ginger. Those are the three. You can use ginger and papaya leaf or ginger and graviola. You don't need to use much more than that, just to keep yourself going. All right. Those are some of the things. And that you spoke about the high vitamin C. It's wonderful if you can get that. But our time is running out. Our time is running out. And I don't want us they say a good storyteller leaves them wanting more. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord. Until next time, stay blessed, stay healthy. And as you do your due, trust the Lord. He will do the rest. God bless you all. Brent, it's over to you.
Great, Jonathan. Louisa, thank you for that wonderful presentation that you guys just delivered to us. I'm sure everyone got lots of value from that, so thank you very much. We've got a few questions that have come through from the chat. So I know we've overshot our time now. We've gone on quite a while, but I've got
sorry about that, Brent.
A few questions that I've just copied over from the chat, and the one is: are sunscreens encouraged to use when we're out in the sun, and how safe are they?
Sunscreens.
Shalene did a wonderful program on that. It's better to regulate how much time you spend in the sun rather than to use sunscreens, because they've got a lot of chemicals in them, which are going to now. So you're blocking the damage from the sun, but using chemicals which can cause cancer. But obviously, for people who have skin issues, like they've got deficiency of melanin to protect themselves, and they're living in hot areas, they may need to use sunscreen. But you would rather just wear clothing that cover you and be under shade. In short, yeah.
Okay, so rather cover up and use too much sunscreen that might have elements in it that will go and be absorbed into the body. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, and got another technical question here for you. How do stem cells assist to prevent and fight cancer?
Okay, your stem cells are your original cells. So in most of your body parts, you've got these cells that then, when they're activated, let's say there's damage to your gastrointestinal, so these cells will come up and make new cells, or even on a regular basis. So as they grow and they develop, that's what happens. So when you take your plant-based food, it will activate them. I think the question is moving towards, the stem cell therapies. You have your own stem cells. That's part of your makeup.
Looks like we've got to freeze your side, Jonathan. Louisa, your screen is frozen at the moment.
The right kind of and healthy cells. You don't need to get stem cells from out there, except if for people who've got bone marrow issues and they need a transplant. But generally, all of us have our own stem cells.
Yes, and by the way, certain treatment kills your stem cells. Yeah, if you don't want, when it comes to certain things, yeah, you don't want to take it over from the body, because then the body loses its ability. You don't want to do that. Okay.
There, when you just mentioned bone marrow, earlier I mentioned vitamin K2 for the absorption of the vitamin D3, and that's actually more for if you've got any bone problems, or if you're wanting to assist in any sort of breakages to the bone or what have you. So the vitamin K2 is more to absorb the vitamin D3 if you've got any assistance needed for the bones of the body. Yeah. Then how much vitamin D3 should they be taking in a day?
Okay. In regards to how much vitamin C you take, look, as vitamin D, yeah? All right. Now, what is important is, look, we understand that it is fat soluble. You don't want that to be in your system overwhelming you. Now, Most of us are depleted. It's always good to go and check out where you are, and then you will know how much. You can take a lot. You can take over 10,000 IU, up way more even, and it won't do you no harm, even though that's not what they recommend. Okay, it won't do you no harm, especially when your body is depleted of it. And so my answer to that, check your vitamins D levels, and then you will be able to gauge yourself. Just speak to one of us. We're here. That's what we're all about. Speak so we can give you good information, so you're not just doing whatever you think is right. We will guide you.
Brilliant. And then I've got one last that was in the chat, quite a odd question. I've cervical cancer. My right foot has been hurting. What could be the problem?
That's because nerve and stuff is getting damaged and pressed against right there. That's what that is. Cancer is like, what do you call it? Referral pain. It's like that. You might have a cancer here and then you're getting pain down here. It's referral pain. That's what you're suffering from. You know, pretty much that's what you're suffering from.
Okay, makes sense. That's all the questions that were posted in the chat. Just having a look here as the last few. Please put this.
Brent,
yeah, they'd like.
Somebody's saying to put our website page back up as well.
Okay, so.
And
so I know that is in the chat. You can just share that screen, admin. You just let me just share that. Screen share. So there's our website there, guys. I don't know if you can click on that because that will go straight through to the website now. That's a hyperlink. You just take that down. And then you can just possibly put up your website afterwards again, Jonathan, because I know they were asking for that.
Jason.
Sorry, Jason.
It's all right. We understand the names.
I need to stop that now. Oh, shit.
Yes, Brent, we just posted our site. All right.
Good. Janine has raised her hand. Janine H. Want to go ahead, Janine? Janine, do you have a question? No? Okay.
She's saying she can't unmute.
Oh, shame. What do you... So we've got Jason's website up now, yeah?
Yes.
Hi, Brent. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hiya. Yeah, just a quick question. I know that when we're talking about the colon cleanse, the doctor showed a supplement that you can take, but I'm just wondering, for those that can't get hold of the supplement, is there anything that we can do at home in order to cleanse the colon?
Okay, question back to the panel.
Yes, sure. I know in England you can get it. It's, if you speak to Jonathan, Charlene, they'll be able to give you much more information in what's available in your locality in England. But for those of you who just want to do something, just take some psyllium husk. It won't do such a deep job, but take some psyllium husk as for maintenance. Some psyllium husk, and just add something like, you can take psyllium husk with senna, or you can take psyllium husk with prune juice. Mix it with the prune juice and drink that down. It will clean you up. It will clean you up. You can put some charcoal in there for extra absorption, but yeah, that will clean you up. Everybody can do that. So that's psyllium husk with prune juice. Easy.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thanks for that. Thanks, you, Jason.
Sister Louise, you got your hands up. Press the thing with your hands up so we can see your hands.
What?
Yeah, Louise Reed, she's got her hands up.
Is there a way of, I can't remember, I read quite a long time ago of we're talking about like the sun and not staying outside in the sun too long, being overexposed. But of course, at the same time, we all understand quite clearly that we need the sun. So is there a way of making like your own natural sunscreen?
Yeah, there's a way. There's a way.
I read about it a long time ago.
Charlene is the one that knows that stuff. Charlene is the one that knows that stuff.
Jason doesn't need to know. He's got enough melanin to protect him from the harmful rays of the sun.
Charlene has got those stuff under her belt, Sister Louise. But yeah, there is formulas. I have it in one of my books somewhere. I'll send it to you privately. I don't have it off my head right now, but definitely there is. Unless you know one as well, you can share with us. I know you know stuff like that too.
There's something else we can do, Jason. Being a fisherman, when I went over to Florida, over there they do something called covering up, because it's so hot in Florida. The sunscreen just melts off your face.
Wow.
And I'm not taking to the masks. I'm feeling very claustrophobic, so I decided to get myself a buff. These buffs, and you can basically just wear it. And then so you can cover up the ears. If you had a hat on, now
right.
You know,
cover up.
Yeah, it's called covering up.
Brent, you look like a ninja.
So that's what I've got, yeah. And I can breathe. I can breathe now. So
celebrating.
All right, that's cool. I didn't know about that. But there is natural things, though. Yes, for sure, there is.
So,
we'll have it in our, again, guys, remember, we do have a female and a male website. I'm sorry, not website, WhatsApp group. You will get all that information circulating in these groups. A lot of information that we didn't share, plus what we kind of touched on, we will share them in more details on these WhatsApp groups. So if you're not a part of the WhatsApp group, please leave your number or, ask for the link. These guys will give it to
you. Natalia?
Yeah, Shirley's just posted the women's one. Can someone in the admin post the men's one, please? And also, guys, those who wasn't here earlier when we first started, we also have another group, a spiritual group with spirituality and health. We'll put that in the admin chat. And just to let you know what we are doing, next week we're going to come back to Jason and Louisa again with, is it Cancer Part 3, Jason?
No, we're going to break and then
Louisa?
I think somebody else will be presenting next week.
Can I ask a question?
Right, so stay tuned for next week, guys. Yes.
Can I ask a question? I have
a question at some point. Can I
ask a question? But nobody seems to have seen it. So,
okay.
The question I want to ask is,
Audrey.
Sorry.
Audrey, Fran just wanted to ask a question, and can you then go after Fran?
Oh,
is that okay?
Should I ask West?
Yes, go ahead, Fran, and Audrey.
Okay.
Okay.
What about apricot seeds, apricot kernel? I'm talking about natural apricot kernel, so probably from the Himalayas mountain, that has natural cyanide in it. I've been taking it for years, 1 or 2 a day. So what would you say about that?
That's all right. That's B17. That's a good practice. It can be also used as a therapy. You see, here's what we need to understand. Yeah, we can take pawpaw leaf, we can take apricot seeds, we can take these things. But when somebody comes down with a cancer, it has to be used in a more regimental way.
Yeah.
As a protocol. You don't just take it and use it. So in terms of what you're saying, 1 or 2, that's all right. But that's not enough when you already been exposed to cancer.
I do understand. I'm doing it as a preventative measure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not to
that's
cure.
All right.
And also the papaya, the seeds in the papaya, I dry them out and crush them because they're very well.
That will deal with your parasites. It's got pectin in there, so it will also help you with digestive issues and enzymes. But what it is really good for is to clear up those parasites in your system.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, my question is, with colon cleansing, does that affect the gut microbiome or not? And if it does, what does one do about it? You go on probiotics afterwards or what?
Yeah, you can definitely go on probiotics, but also prebiotics are important because prebiotics are going to feed those microbiomes, and they will remultiply and they will repopulate your gut anyway. So yeah, that's the answer in short. Probiotics, prebiotics as well.
So then the cleansing does affect the microbiome, the gut microbiome.
Yes, it does. But the benefit of getting rid of the toxins that are in there, you know, when you can replace the microbiome is
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Someone on the YouTube channel has asked, does chemotherapy kill stem cells?
It can, yes. It definitely can. I was doing a research on that not long ago. Yes, it actually can. That's a problem. Yeah, it can.
That's why chemotherapy is so dangerous, eh?
That's what makes it quite dangerous.
Can I ask a question? It didn't get answered on the chat.
Yes,
basically, obviously, I didn't want to go into too much detail because I know it's time sensitive. I have to take pancreatic enzymes because I've got liver cancer and they removed part of my liver, and my body can't absorb the food anymore because I've got malabsorption. Now, the ones that the doctor's given me, they are got pork in them. They're Nutrizyme 22. I don't know if you've heard of it, but basically I've been taking them ones and I've been told that the vegan ones, the ones with papaya and pineapple vegan based ones are not as effective. Is there anything that you can suggest? Because I'm sort of tied to these Nutrizyme 22.
All right. Yeah, we can just grab our number. We'll put it on. We can talk to you. We can talk to you privately. What we generally, our approach generally is always that we be balanced in all things. She needs them. She needs pancreatic enzymes because otherwise she will not be able to absorb. So we can have a look at alternatives, but she needs to be on pancreatic enzymes. And if they're pork based, you're not eating pork and you're not eating you must weigh the risks and the benefits and see what it is that's going to assist you in every decision that you're going to make.
Was that a picture of your colon cleanse machine?
Okay, thanks.
But I'll put our number on Teresa and you can WhatsApp us.
Did you see that, Brett? Did you see it? It was supposed to be subtle.
That your colon cleanse machine there.
It was supposed to be subtle. Yes.
Can I say something about the colon cleanse? Doc, was you quite a while back?
Oh yeah, Sister Louise does colon cleanse. For those who were asking about colon cleanse, Sister Louise does colon cleanse in the UK.
Amen. Doc, a little while back when you guys were doing you were doing like the detox programs.
Yes.
You were saying that the bananas, to make sure you add bananas and mangoes, I think it was it bananas and mangoes? Because they help with the gut.
I don't remember about the mangoes, but definitely the bananas, especially the green bananas, are a good prebiotic because we don't digest that starch. We can't have access to it. It is primarily to feed the bacteria in your colon. That's what we call a prebiotic. And therefore they will be fruitful and multiply and you will reap the benefits.
Okay. I think when I did a bit of research, they were talking about mangoes as well. So maybe I added it all in together.
Okay.
But yeah, when I did some research on that, they were like 100% in agreement with that.
All right. Good stuff.
What we can do.
Any other questions? Glenville, good to see you, Glenville. Glenville is also a long lost friend. I haven't seen him for so long. Great to see you again, my brother. So well.
Jason, yes, I've got another question from YouTube. Maureen asks, I have a friend that is very worried because the doctor told him that his diabetes is now almost up to 8. What would advise him to do?
Is diabetes, you say?
Yeah, diabetes is up to 8. I saw that question. They need to talk to us because I don't think they gave us the right information, because that's not making sense when they say the diabetes is up to 8. And we don't know what that means. So I've put our numbers on the chat. So just grab them and send a WhatsApp. It's the easiest way.
On the website as well. You can send your message directly on the website. You'll see a little tab there. Just tick it and write your message there. It also comes straight through.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
I just wanted to ask a quick question about the colon cleanse. So basically wanted to ask, if you just basically don't have any health issues, everything is okay, how often would you recommend a colon cleanse?
That's relative to how blocked up your system is, one, and how well you have been making the transition in terms of your diet. You see, if you're eating a lot of waste food and a lot of meat, especially white flour, white bread stuff, your colon's going to be quite dirty. Now, if you're not eating that, you're eating pretty much a simple, good vegan diet where you're practicing good, then your requirement might be different. And one thing about health, we are all biologically different, and then environmental and practical different. So it's not one cap fit all. That's why when certain questions are asked in general about conditions, we say no. Rather speak to us of the group, because we'll give specific information and it's heard generally, and somebody might think, well, I've got that, let me do that, when you're completely different. So with the colon cleanse, we recommend, if you're on a good clean diet where you're just eating things that's good for you, we say quarterly. Every quarter, do a little cleanup. But if you're sick and you're eating a lot of stuff, your system is going to continually be re-nourished with junk. So you're going to have to think about what you're doing and see how often you want to do it. But the best thing is change your diet, clean up your system, and then regulate it 3 to 4 times a year. Okay, if you're sick and your system is blocked up, you might need to do it a little bit more often to clear your system.
Okay,
can I just follow up on that question, please?
Thank you.
Hello. Can I just follow up, Jason, and ask? So I want to do a colon cleanse, and I am very fine. In the past 2 months, I've been eating a very healthy diet. So my question is there like some kind of smoothie on your page, or is it Louise from England whom I can reach out to? Just to
reach out to Louise.
Can I get the contact, Louise?
Louise is a product of us. She'll share with you just what we know, and she's in your locality.
Thank you so much. Good to see you, Kumuta.
Hi, good to see you, Jacob. This is the person who challenged everything that I knew about health in 2015 when I was drinking a glass of milk. So it's wonderful. He literally changed me from the doctor that I was.
I heard a lot about you, Jacob. I even heard that you were climbing the ladder. I heard about you, brother.
It's nice to see you doing this work. I'm very excited. I'm very happy. Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining.
I'm glad to be here.
Anyone else?
Guys, would you like to talk about the future programs? The cooking coming up with Alvin. And
hey, but before you go on, sorry about that. I thought we was going to get next question. Before you move on there, Jonathan, my good friend, listen, guys, we want to just throw a little more challenge. Now, you're starting to take vitamin D, and that's great. So I want you to add this. I want you to add this here to your program, okay? Go out and get yourself some zinc and start putting that. Use as directed, it's fine. Just make sure you start getting it in your system. We want you all to build up a strong immune system that can withstand the storm when they shall show up. So please add this to your supplement. And this is how we're going to do our challenges. We'll give you challenges to add, and you add. And then in a season and a time, we will hear about the benefits. But for now, let's get them in the system. So your challenge this week is go and get zinc and add it to your vitamin D, which you did last week. That's 2 more things you're going to add to your program, and including the good lifestyle practice. We will hear about the benefits soon, don't worry. Or we won't hear that you're ever sick, which is just as well.
And what is the dose?
Someone's asking how much zinc to take with the vitamin D3, Jason.
As I said, just use the recommended daily amount.
Oh,
okay, use the recommended daily amount.
Okay.
If you are suffering with cancer or you have a condition, then do speak to us. We will change the dosage according to what we're dealing with. Or if you got a viral, we will know how to change it. But if you're just looking to just generally look after yourself, use as directed.
So it'll tell you on the package, yeah.
Where do we get that, sir? Where do we buy the zinc?
You can get it in Holland and Barrett. Where do you live?
I live in London.
You can. Where in London do you live, ma'am?
In Hackney.
In Hackney.
Mm.
Well, look for your closest Holland and Barrett. I don't know much health store. I do know a few, but I don't remember their name by now.
There's one in May Street. There's one in May Street.
Yes, go there. They'll have it.
And Apple Jack has
a very good
Whole Foods in Hackney.
I've got a
Whole
very
Foods in
good
Brixton has it. Any health store will have it. It's common knowledge.
Any idea where New Yorkers could get it, Jason?
Where in New York are you?
I'm in Brooklyn, Jason.
Go to Church Street. Church Street has got several health stores there. I forgot the number, but you know, Church Street, it's got loads of them.
Okay.
And listen, and Health Imperium in Queens, that's the best one.
So it's Health Imperial?
Imperium.
Oh.
In Queens. It's one of the most wonderful health store in New York. Have everything.
Okay, thank you.
Can you show the container once more, please? I want to take a photograph of it. While she's looking at that, can I say that Holland and Barrett's products are usually bulked up with chalk? I don't
Yes,
trust
they
them
put
as
things
well.
in there. They put fillers
It's better to get your stuff online.
Or to go to Baldwin's is better.
Now, I've just posted a link in the chat. It's Dolphin Fitness. I've been using them. Marathon runner, and he knows his supplements. Dolphin Fitness will deliver to your door for free within 7 to 10 days, or you can pay a couple of pounds and they deliver it within 2 to 3 days.
Wow, that's good, man. That's a great one. And that's somebody that's telling you about things. So it's always good to take recommendation from those in your locality. They know better. Yeah. Like Brent is giving you something better than what I'm saying to you right now. So work with that. That's better.
Yeah.
Zinc is very powerful. When the COVID started, I sent the supplements over at home. And my parents and my sister, they have said, this is the first year that sinuses have not troubled them. They have not have recurrent flu and viral infections. So it's not just for cancer purposes, but it's going to do a work on your immune system, on your respiratory system, but it's also good for the brain as well. So
that's right.
Put it in there.
Canada?
Where's what happened?
Oh, Brent.
So if we've got no more questions, we've got our challenge now for next week, which has been given to us. So that's zinc to take alongside the vitamin D3. I think Sharon, you wanted to say something there?
And Brent, you know what? Also,
I see there's a hand up.
Folks, listen up. Brent did mention about vitamin K3. Add that as well. That will help with the absorption. Okay, that's an additional piece of information that we didn't put as the challenge, but it is definitely key. Get some vitamin K3. It will help with the absorption and the usage of the D3 especially. Okay, please do add that to your list.
Sorry, one other thing. I know there's quite a number of people that are not very keen on taking supplements. They're always looking to take food. Unfortunately, as you know, Jason likes to use the scripture. Some of the food, they have a form of godliness, but no power. Sometimes we're eating food and it does not have the nutrients that it's supposed to have in its original form. So you're eating them, but they lack the substance. And that's why we're seeing people on a plant-based diet and they're sick. when you supplement, all you're doing is for a period of time, you're adding that which you should have found in your food, but in concentrated amounts. That's why you see we're pairing them together. But obviously, when you get them in food, you'll get the vitamin D mixed with all of these other things. So you're adding them for the sake of your health. I always say, because maybe I was there at some point, we must try not to be too fanatical about things. It would be ideal in the perfect world to eat an orange and get the amount of vitamin C you're supposed to get from it. But that we don't live in that kind of world. A lot of the things is adulterated, and it does not have the power it was meant to have. So this is just to help add to that.
Yeah, that's because of our soil, Dr. Louisa. The soil's been tilled over so many times.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And also, when it comes to pesticides, what would you guys recommend with trying to get rid of the pesticides on our fruit and vegetables before we consume them? Do you have any ideas that we can treat the fruit and vegetables with, perhaps?
Yeah, hydrogen peroxide is one of those things, Brent, how if you mix it right, you wash your vegetables in it, it will get rid of it. Some people use lemon and stuff, but I found from my research that hydrogen peroxide mixed with water in a bowl. You put the hydrogen peroxide in say you take a bowl of, say, I don't know how much vegetable, but say you're using about 4 to 5 liters of water, and then you take, I use about 3 to 4 tablespoons, 5 max with the hydrogen peroxide, mix it in, and you just wash that vegetable. Just leave it sitting there, especially broccoli. Just let it sit there for a while. It will kill whatever. Some folks, lemon is also quite good. You can use lemon. And they also have lemon, vegetable wash in some of the stores, which is quite organic and good stuff. But hydrogen peroxide is cheap, and it's one of the most effective.
Please, can I ask, is it hydrogen peroxide food grade you are talking about, sir, or the other hydrogen peroxide? There is two.
No, just a normal one, just a normal clinical one, not necessarily the food grade one. No, just a normal hydrogen peroxide. The food grade one, you don't want to use that there. You use that internally because that's a bit more expensive. You know what I mean? So just use the normal hydrogen peroxide you get from the chemist, the pharmacy.
I came in late. I don't know if this is recorded because I was diagnosed with colon cancer and I need more of the information. I don't know how I can get in touch with you.
You can, Brett, did you hear that question?
I said because I joined it a bit late. So
okay.
And I was diagnosed with colon cancer, and I've got a tumor in my pancreas as well. But I didn't want to go for surgery. I want to go God's way, and I want to go natural way. So I don't know if I can get in touch with you after this program and get more advice.
Okay. No problem. Our information, we'll put it up there, and we'll talk more. Again, we'll deal with your case specifically, so it's best to have that one-off consultation with us. We'll talk to you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You can look. We'll put it in there now.
Okay. I'll get it.
All right. Look for it. There'll be a number and a website.
Okay.
Listen, was it that you said vitamin K or is it vitamin K2? Because I thought you said vitamin K3. Is it K3 or K2 to take with vitamin D3?
K2, sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Brent, I think there's 2 more hands. Someone called Karen Bedford.
Yeah. Let them go then.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I was just asking about the iron tablet with, if it has in zinc, do you have to take the zinc separately as well? The fact that it already has in zinc.
Tablet is that?
That's the iron tablet that's with zinc.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, so I'm saying that
it depends what you're taking the zinc for. You see, this zinc, it's 25 milligrams that you're taking. So you need to have a look at the iron and how much zinc is in it to see how much it is you want to take. So you would need to have a look at that. Does that make sense? So you need to look at the dosage to see if it's sufficient. So if they're only putting 2 grams of zinc, well, you know that that's not sufficient.
So for example, right, this is a trace mineral. Now it does have zinc in it, but it doesn't have this amount of zinc in it.
Yes.
So you're talking about a combi something. So if you want to get zinc at certain concentration, then it's best to, get it from something like by itself.
Okay.
Great.
So if there's no other questions.
Yeah, Brent, I was thinking maybe we should let everyone know that we've got some cooking classes coming in December.
Okay.
With Brother Alvin.
No,
And
we didn't go to bed early.
Okay, thanks much. Thanks.
No.
Yes. Brother Alvin's been quite proactive with his cooking, and he's posting on the group with all these soups that he's been posting and putting together. So that'll be good. Brother Alvin, are you there?
Alvin, I want to join the cooking classes with you, Alvin. I want to make tonka meal.
Even everybody watch the space.
Yeah.
Hi, do we have a challenge for this week?
Yes, Sharon. The challenge is just going to be to add vitamin K, vitamin K2 and zinc to the vitamin D3 from last week. Which Jason suggested.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Yes, just want to find out, how ideal is it for us to use, or can we use Epsom salt as a colon cleanser?
No.
I wouldn't recommend it because you're going to lose a lot of water without necessarily taking out the gunk, the sticky stuff. So you're just gonna have diarrhea. That's not what you want, and that can lead to dehydration. So psyllium husk works better because it's fiber which goes in and cleanses your system. So I would not recommend Epsom salt as a colon cleanser.
Thank you.
I can just add in there regarding the Epsom salts, guys. Do you guys ever offer the liver cleanse with the Epsom salts and the grapefruit and the olive oil?
Yeah, that's one of my personal favorite cleanses. We just put one of our clients on it. That's when I would definitely use it, and I never use more than 50 grams of Epsom salt in 750 mils of water spread over a period of about 12 hours.
Yes.
And I monitor them, and if I know that if they get dehydrated, I would be able to put up a drip on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works quite well to clear the liver and the gallbladder, doesn't it? To get
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I've done 4 of those, and every time I get more stones that come out.
I know, right? It's awesome. Sorry.
Yeah, brilliant.
All right. Seem like we're out of questions and time is gone.
Good. So, guys, I think we'll wrap up then. So.
Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello.
Sorry, I'm coming on late with my question. What advice would you give to someone who has already started chemotherapy? I have a friend who's already on chemo. Given the wealth of information you have provided, what would that person do? What should that person do?
Well, look, we can give a general answer, but this is probably best for that person to have a consultation.
Yeah, or at the very least, let them watch this whole program.
Yeah.
So they can see the foundation they need to put in and see if, you see, some people do not believe in this way. Some people believe in chemotherapy and they want to have chemotherapy. Some people don't want to change their lifestyle. They want to continue eating their meat and their sugar and taking all these other things. So let them watch the video. And then if they are interested after watching that, then like Jason was saying, then let them let them contact us and we can see where they are, what they need. One of the things, I've had patients who said, I want to take chemotherapy, but how can you support me? And then I just put them on vitamin C to try and, you know, undo what is happening there, until they get to a mindset of accepting this holistic approach.
Good. So that you can go to just copy the link. It'll be on YouTube, and then you can share that with them. Yeah. And if they're necessary, reach out to Kwaqemane Lifestyle Center. Did I say that right?
Kwaqemane. Yes, there's a click, Brent. There's a click there. There's a Q. Say
it again, Jay.
I can't say it twice. I can only say it once, and I've run out of the clicks. This clicks is a special.
Kwaqemane.
Strong, fit, and healthy.
Kwaqemane. Okay.
Another word for abundant health.
Good. Okay. Okay, guys, if there's no more questions, we're going to wrap up. We're going on for quite a while now, almost 3 hours. So thanks, guys, for hosting with us today. Natalia, thank you for joining us. Jason, Dr. Louisa. So next is going to be not you guys, but you'll follow on future cancer presentations to come, then you say, yeah?
That's right.
Good. Brilliant. Okay, well, lots of love from the UK.
Thanks again from South Africa.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful week, everyone, and look after yourself until we shall meet again by God's grace.
Amen.
Stay well.
Amen. Good. So now the question.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Great show. Great show. Good hosting. I'm looking forward to listening to the YouTube link because I missed the beginning, other commitments. But also looking forward